All right, we are live, and welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the Krieg Dominion. I am Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and your host for tonight, this 32nd episode of Along the Frontier, entitled Drums in the Deep. If you haven't noticed by now, my naming convention has something related to something in that show or in that mission. So we'll just leave it at that. I am joined, of course, by Rodance, Luke, and Kane, my wonderful, I almost said grim dark, but this is a different type of horror. My wonderful alien players, playing Wescott, Wiskowski, I think I got it right? Wazinski? Something.
Olszynski.
I'm so
So you
damn
almost
close.
got it, actually.
I'm so close. And of course, our murder mastermind, Staff Sergeant Heath Pike. Let's take a moment, check in with you guys, see what's new. It's been so many weeks since we last got together. So we'll try not to get bogged down as we did in getting started, for the love of God. 30 minutes later, and we're still talking about, the last several weeks. But let's check in with you guys, see what's new and exciting. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be over here starting a whole new brood of something different. Rodance, what's new and exciting for you in the last
Let's
several
see.
weeks?
It's been a month of change. Everybody's still alive. Nobody's died or had any major accidents. Woo. My stepfather finally has a pretty scar instead, well, I say pretty in the sense that it healed instead of a giant gaping hole in his leg after his motorcycle accident, so he's a lucky SOB.
Usually how that goes.
Yeah, he drove through a fence. The fence post went in his leg and not over or around or across the leg. Not a good day.
It chose the more invasive of the prepositions I see.
Yep. Literally a scar longer than my hand. Like, it is like this weird L shape. So, yeah. So, let's see. Everybody's in that. Everybody still has jobs, even though my mom is chronically in the I hate job land. My cats still hate when I clip their toenails. I mean, it's the same old. This is the first week when all my D&D games have resumed. Can you tell I've missed talking with people? They've made us work from home for 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been like that.
Hashin says hello, but he uses words like war crime and no survivors. So I'm not sure if it was really a hello or if it was just, plugging the war
Hey,
crimes.
Hashin.
Hi, Hashin.
They're all still here. Doesn't that count? I haven't even had to threaten anyone with rusty spoons lately. It's been great.
Oh, Luke, besides the dog, which maybe to the viewers, I don't remember if you had a dog back then. I thought cat, but maybe I'm crazy. I am crazy. There's no debate about that. What's new and exciting for you, including the dog?
Well, doggo, house, stuff, I guess. It's been a really weird and exciting December, I guess. Global warming is hilarious. I mean, to sit here and talk about any of it would be just like a long drawn out process.
It would definitely
Other than
be
that,
a sidetrack for sure.
we got a dog, so as you can see, he's going to be the main part of my background for a little bit.
Yeah.
He happy-go-lucky. He's supposed to be a lab. He's clearly a pit bull.
Such a fine distinction between the two. It's easy to get them confused.
No, yeah, it's 100% very, very similar dogs. He's on medication because he has like a liver failure thing, which isn't too bad. He should be clearing up in like a week or something with medication. So
his name is Garth. Man, I really should not make that joke. I was gonna say you have an alcoholic pit bull. Awesome. But I won't make too much of that joke. I did notice the roll of paper towels earlier, and I thought about saying something. I was just waiting for the dog to start gnawing on them, because that's what dogs do, right? They chew on things.
Don't fall in the trap of getting pool noodles, because the little bits of foam go everywhere.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's a bad idea. Bad.
Ever is inside their intestines, and yeah.
That's right. That goes right up there with rawhide. doing various things to their intestinal
Yeah.
their digestive tract.
Yeah, because it's rawhide. It's not even digestible. It's just this dried bullshit.
Yeah, it just basically collects and lumps. And
Yep.
at any rate, you got anything else before I move on to our? I don't even. I was gonna say something, but nothing that came to mind was really like it was too. It wasn't obvious enough that I was making a joke, I guess. But Kane, please, what's new and exciting for you, my friend? Before I lose my mind in my own rambling.
Uh, so I've officially joined the amateur radio club's tower climbing team. So it's all volunteer stuff. And I was like, I climbed before. And then I joined and then moved around, and I hadn't really done any of that in a long time, but they were looking for somebody to help out with some experience, and I'm the only one. I'm also like a third the age of half the club, so whatever.
So wait, hold on. Based on that statement alone, amateur radio antenna climbing club. Did I get that right?
So amateur radio itself,
Okay.
It's it's federally regulated.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And,
Ham radio, basically.
Ham radio, yeah. So the ham radio group, whether people need stuff put up or taken down or whatever, it's all volunteer. They need people to do it. So I decided to join the group within the group that does do the tower climbing because they needed help.
I see. For a minute I thought this was like almost like a rock climbing club, but it was like they just climb radio antennas. Hang on one second. My kid desperately is getting my attention. Okay, sorry. But yeah, no, at first I thought this was like a group that just like picks a random radio antenna. It's like, we're gonna climb that tonight. Somebody film this. Let's go.
Well, like all those parkour kids who break
something like that. Like at first I thought that's what you were talking about, but then I was like, okay, no, you're part of the ham radio group, but you're also part of the group within that group that says, oh, you need antenna set up? I got you.
Yeah. So I recently went up a tower, and if there's one thing that will remind you that you live a relatively sedentary life, it's repeatedly going up and down a 140-foot awkwardly shaped ladder.
Yes, it will.
So my arms are cooked.
Yeah, that'll do it. That will definitely do it. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Let's see. Before we get dived into our evening, couple things. One, it has been several weeks since we were last together, so there's probably a fair chance that I'm going to forget that apparently I need to go get milk tomorrow. But there's a very good chance that I may misremember or not remember certain things as they come up in conversation. We covered a lot of it before we got started, thanks to these three who take evidently far better notes than I do, despite I'm being the one who's running all of this, allegedly. Second thing, I am still looking for cast members. I am looking for 3 or 4 more cast members for Battletech Solaris, currently named Stable Unknown, mostly because once the players all do get together, they will name the stable whatever they want to name it. And then 1 or 2 additional players for Battletech Operation Revival Divergence. If I get 1 or 2 more players for that, that'd be awesome. I don't need them. I'm not saying that. That sounded a little bit contrary. Having 1 or 2 more players for that one would be cool, but not necessary. The show is good with the 3 that we have. But if I get more, awesome. 3 to 5 players for Solaris would be amazing. Because if we don't get 1 more, we don't have a show. I have 1 person right now. So, let's see, what else? We're back. Yay! Happy New Year! We're back. I am going to be endeavoring, of course, to keeping things on track, of which I have created a scheduled channel in the Discord for the cast members, in order to help keep everybody on track with what's going on. So we've got, of course, Alien tonight. We've got Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader tomorrow night. And then throughout the rest of the week, basically open time slots for other stuff. Saturdays looking most likely to be Battletech Aquila Legion, which of course is me playing the Mega Mech campaign, unless something else comes up. And one of those something else is still kind of up in the air. We're not even sure if it's going to continue or not, which is the Grimdark James Star Wars one-shot, which I totally, absolutely forgot to mention in any capacity during my State of the Dominion address on Christmas Day. So totally spaced that one. Absolutely missed it in all of my notes. It didn't even make it into my notes for that stream. So if you're watching this, just know that Star Wars One Shot with Grimdark James is not completely dead yet. We have not yet gotten a full final answer as to whether or not it will continue. But there are plenty of other things on the docket. A lot of Battletech stuff coming out in the beginning of the year. Hopefully, knock on wood. Because at the end of the day, Battletech is probably one game that I have been playing the most out of in one shape or another since the mid-90s. So, at any rate, let's get into this. When we last saw our players, their characters, they were in the process of getting ready to head down to the moon called Grandy. It is in a star system that I probably have written down somewhere, but I'm not going to go looking for it. The purpose of them going down to this moon, of course, is to, is to resolve whatever happened with a part of the mine's collapse. They started digging, they dug a little deep, all of a sudden things went bad. Bunch of people missing, bunch of Marines missing. Their job, go in and stabilize the mine. They have just completed a 72-hour downtime stretch, during which time they had to meet with a shrink, a psychiatrist, to basically get the go-ahead to keep going on missions because they had lost one of their fellow compatriots in the previous mission. Two, actually, but one dead, absolutely was dead. Like, there's no denying. He died. The other one, just after a while, well, he didn't wake up when the rest of the team woke up because he didn't leave on the same ship. Let's put it that way.
He's still on that station.
No, he's not on that
He ended
station.
up losing a whole lot of brownies out the pan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Or most of the fries out of the Happy Meal.
Yeah. Or that elevator will just never go back up again. So they had to sit down with a psychiatrist to basically be given the go-ahead to continue doing missions, which they did. Then they had some downtime stuff to do. Some people watched a movie. Some people watched legs open and close. That's all I'm going to say on that. I don't know why I needed that.
You had to pick that one. Bro.
Sometimes
Could have just said they had some enjoyable drunk texting.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, it is.
There was a drunk text or two, and then
that was enjoyable.
And then they played Flappy Bird.
They played Flappy Bird. Oh my god! There might have been some Angry Bird in there somewhere. I don't know. And then there was some really weird vibes that were picked up about Mr. Man with a badge, who in my notes for the time being is being referred to as Badge Guy.
He didn't pass vibe check.
He didn't pass vibe check. Wow.
Dude never had a vibe to begin with. He would never have passed.
No, I mean, I've been trying to play him so straight-faced with zero anything. He's just a dude with a badge. It's literally his thing. So
may I introduce you to the FBI clothing warehouse where all of them buy the exact same ill-fitting clothing?
Yeah.
Your dude really should not have stopped in there with the rest of them.
No, in fact, if anything, he just wears a white button-up and some blue jeans and maybe a ball cap. If the sun's out. And of course his badge. So, some interesting things regarding the Secretary of Defense may or may not have been pointed at. Some interesting things regarding General Vaughn may or may not have been pointed at based on some information that was electronically dug up. But a lot of question marks all around the board. And then the mission briefing to go down to the moon. Eckhart and Pike spotted together in the cockpit of the Friday the 13th by none other than Colonel Arnold, who may or may not have been too happy about seeing that, who may or may not have inferred things based on what he saw. Who knows?
Fortunately,
Everybody was still dressed.
Well, I was going to say, fortunately, he got to be mad about fraternization instead of what we were there to do.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
He was bird watching.
Yeah, something. So let me get my other notes. Oh, I already have that up. This one. So let's close that. Get this up. Are we good on talent roles, and all of that? Because I didn't take a moment to do that. I feel like we did some of that right at the end of the last episode.
That was my attempt.
I figured that one roll that you made earlier was it.
I only buy things if I use something similar to it at this point.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah. And I didn't do any skill checks.
All right, so here's the gist. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I still have Pike listed as both my rival and my buddy.
Nice. I mean, that makes sense, though, because on some days... Well, it's not even so much some days. It's just how you're feeling in that moment.
By the way, did you notice?
Probably not.
My other horribly unpronounceable named character got a nickname. They gave him a nickname.
Wyszynski got a nickname?
Yeah. Can you not see it?
Wally. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, Wally
I
makes...
thought it would be perfect for you.
Aw. Just yet another stupid W name to trip up on.
But that one's at least pronounceable for you.
Yes, Wally is much easier to say than Wyszynski.
Hmm.
All right.
Hey, I gave you a W name that sounded like a V name, so I thought you'd have been happy, but no.
Listen, have you met me? I'm never happy. That's a lie. I can be happy easily. Just take away all the stress.
I bet you're happy right now.
What's that?
I bet you're happy right now.
I'm definitely happier now than I was, earlier today.
Oh, good.
Progress.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not at work, so.
Or when in doubt, do what I do. Have a dead tree in the yard that you go mash with an axe for an hour and then come back in, knowing you're never actually going to cut through the thing because it's this big around.
Yeah, no,
and you're very bad at it. That's how I do it.
I don't have susceptible trees in front of my living space. So many
I've had to replace
boat
my
face
power
arch points.
Twice.
What?
But yeah.
Hashan, what are you talking about?
Could we all chime in on Hashan?
I happen to look over and he's got so many McBodie boat face arch points gone. He was so close to the elusive 3-pound loaf burger. P.S. Most of the text is just my laughing and don't need response or anything. And beat Rodance this week. Even Kane did. Okay, I don't know what... I'm not even sure what he's going on about now.
At you, but apparently it was ad break time, so...
Sure. So we open. You guys have arrived on the surface. On your way down to the surface, you will have noticed, of course, the Conestoga class Hela, or Hela, I suppose, which is a civilian hospital ship, was in orbit. There are 2 red and white UD-4B Cheyenne dropships touching down near the mine as well. Eckhart set you guys down near those same red and white hospital dropships. And as soon as you guys all get on the ground, well, let me just ask this. As you're touching down, what is your exfil plan to get off the dropship? Are you rolling out in the APC? Are you coming out on foot with some of you in the truck?
I figure we'll do it dramatically.
Okay,
we'll roll
bursting out with guns.
Combat roll.
We're rolling out in the vehicle, and we're gonna do as soon as it clears, the turret is activated, and we pull to the side somewhere and open the door and dramatically step out in our action hero montage.
Hell yeah! It's gotta be it's gotta be at 0.75 speed, so it's got that extra drama thrown into it.
The slow motion of the rifle sling as Pike steps out.
Yeah. It's not quite full speed, but it's not quite slow speed either, or slow motion either. It's somewhere in between. It's got, and the music, of course, is playing in the background. It's our drum beats are The turret snaps into position on beat. The truck comes to a complete stop on beat. The door slides open on the drum beat. People's feet are touching down on the ground on the drum beat.
And then Helldivers
Really?
2 shows up in the banner.
For democracy. For Super Earth. Salute. So the flag goes higher faster.
Now, not just because this is a really amusing and inappropriate entrance for our characters, but it also sets the tone right away that we are not engineers.
Yeah. As this happens, as you guys are doing your superhero arrival moment, there are like 20 or 30 miners all around the landing zone rushing up.
What are they doing there? They should be in
I'm getting there. I mean, what they're doing at the moment is kind of not quite cowering, but also like, oh, hey, help's here. Let me get the fuck out of here. They are, of course, wearing their Mark 50 compression suits, fully suited and helmeted up. They are, at this point, they're a little standoffish towards the marinest of Marines, but they are definitely making what otherwise would appear to be something of a beeline for the red and white dropships so they can get the fuck out of here.
Man, those aren't mine. Okay.
That is a great opportunity of not our problem anymore.
All right, well, you do catch on one of the, let's call it the local command net that the Marines are using, which includes both dropships, well, all 3 dropships and the Gila. Hey, can you get these guys away? Like we've got actual injured people on board. Well, they're probably touching down about the same time, so they don't have injured people. Like, we need to get some command and control here. Get these people organized. They're trying to mob us. They're using military speak, not my rambly shit.
I'll look back into the APC as everyone's getting out, starting with a minor riot control. And I'll just I'll hit the mic. We're on the way.
Wow. Can we not do Helldivers 2 tonight?
You realize
So,
Alita has disposable rocket launchers on her back.
Oh, listen, I mean, I'm going to let y'all handle it however you want.
Shields.
There is a large group, probably 30 or so miners, and they don't look particularly... I mean, it's hard to judge most of their facial expressions through their, helmets, but body language is a motherfucker, and they do not look like they don't want to be here anymore. They want to get the fuck out of here.
They can leave.
Eckhart's leaving, right?
What was Eckhart doing?
It's like once we clear, she's taking off, right?
He has work to do.
I feel like there's a reason for her to be taking off. Like, I feel like there's a reason why she's not sticking around.
Well, we can't transport any of these people into orbit on it. Our dropship's classified.
Well, not only that, but I feel like your dropship is only big enough for you guys and your APC, and not much else. Like, if you think the standard dropship configuration is cozy, which is the code word for not a lot of wiggle room, your special one that I don't remember the name of off the top of my head other than Friday the 13th, or Saturday the 14th, I should say, is even more cozy, more cramped.
Yeah. So Warren will drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's become our driver by no choice of his own.
I know how this works. I was a private once.
Yeah. So
It's like the big rig set back home.
We'll roll over to the ambulance dropships so we can help them stay organized and not get mobbed.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a comtech roll?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
Making use of the emergency broadcast system and the spacesuits of the miners?
So you're going to do the suited up space miner version of yelling into a megaphone?
Yes.
Okay.
Except that I'm assuming it's some variety of comtech check to find the correct radio frequency for their suits.
Instead of comtech, why don't you roll some sort of command leadership? I don't even remember all the skills. The six of
you're
them
saying I can automatically do it and you want me to use my personality on them instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, folks, we're here to help them.
Yes.
They're going to be helped. They're going to be helped on our terms, but we are here to help them.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that roll. 3 successes. Yeah, it doesn't take long. There's some sort of authoritative tone in your voice. But what do you say?
Neat and orderly lines, please. We are prioritizing based on triage. We need to get the heavily injured onto the ship first. Everyone else will get a ride out, but you need to be patient.
So I'm gonna tell you what they hear. Those are your words, okay? But what they hear is, "Hey, nice orderly lines. Stop fucking around." Because they all automatically have like this marine tone implied.
No, they're roughnecks. It'll
Yeah.
be, yo, bitches, stand in fucking line.
That's it. Yeah, it's definitely more accurate. By the way, my loud ass said that when I spit that out. I think I backed out my microphone. Yeah, no, it's bitches, toe the line, stop fucking around. Yeah, it takes a minute or two, but yeah, they definitely get into small groups of like 3 or 4, and then they, 5 or 10 feet, and there's another group of 4 or 5, and whatever. They look like they're grouping up by like friend groups or work.
And once they start
teams.
calming down and are making pretty lines, I tell
Mhm.
them to raise their hand if they're injured under the suits.
Yeah, you get a couple that are somewhat injured, but most of them it seems like they're just more spooked / worried / don't want to be here. They want to get
Alright.
back to the
You
main
f-
dome.
You
I
four,
will walk through the line and pull the people who raise their hands out and make sure they aren't going to instantly keel over, and then I put them in a injured line.
all right, you 4 organize this crowd. I'm going to talk to the ground crew to make sure we can get this organized in a way to help them.
You are Pike, that is, as your minions are off getting people under control. You are approached by Mr. Do I have a thingy on him? Give me a second. Let me see what we got. Do I have an actual token for? I mean, I know you guys don't have tokens on the board. But... There.
I have.
I mean, I have orders for the Marines too, so.
Which mission is it?
Probably something really silly like Deep Shaft or something.
No, well, that's the name. But it's not separated by. It's listed as M1, M2, M3. So I'm like, fuck, I don't remember which one this is.
No.
I got baton rounds.
Yeah.
Do they do exactly what I think they do?
Oh yeah.
They
Third
throw.
barrel.
They're 30mm rubber slugs.
Amazing. Okay, yeah. As you exit the vehicle and get your Marines underway, here, let's change the scene actually. Here's another. Nope, that's not what I want. Let's do. Damn it, that's not what I want either. This one? That's the one I want. Okay. Activate.
Aha.
And let's say, where is your landing zone? I don't have a landing pad right there. So these guys. So in this area here, that's probably where the group of people are, and then you guys are down here. So let me get your people on the ground. Let's see.
Okay, meds.
Right. Sorry, right. I don't have a thingy for you. Wally, Wescott, Pike. And then I need another Ishigawa. Whatever his fucking name is. And then just imagine, like, maybe off to the south side of that, where it says landing pad. That's where the dropships are, the 3 of them. And your vehicle, of course, is, off to one side, dramatically posed to, provide cover and all that. Yeah, so Ishigara comes up and says, I take it you're the one in charge? Muffled slightly
Yes.
through his Mark 50 compression suit. I'm Ken Ishigara. Oh my god. Ishigara. I'm your, the rescue coordinator here. I'm trying to get things under control. I do appreciate you keeping the mob back. These guys seem a little bit antsy. Can't blame them, though. What kind of... I'm a little hesitant to ask this, but what kind of orders they give you? Because I'd really hate to be shot right about now. He's saying that, when he says that, he says it kind of sarcastically, but there is that slight undertone of, I'm making a joke, but like, for real, please don't shoot me right now.
No, okay. What do you prefer, Ken or Ishikawa?
Whatever floats your boat, my man. I'm just here
All
to
right.
get these people the care they need.
All right, Ken. My orders are to help your people first.
Okay, well, that's good. We're here to save lives. I've got, let's see. He starts kind of like, you see him kind of like mentally counting on his fingers. He's got his fingers in front of his face, not in his face, but like, starts kind of like, he's like, all right, well, I got 62 wounded up here on top of, of the facility. Wounds ranging from, broken bones, crushed limbs, multiple lacerations. There's still another 30-something miners and like 8 Marines down below. We got to figure out what we can do to get them up and out of here. But, we got the drop ships. We're cycling people through, triaging. And as more people come up, we'll figure out, if we need to, what's the word I'm looking for? We have the group that's up here now, triage, lined up in order of priority. As more people come up, we'll adjust the order of priority as needed. But biggest thing is just getting them down or getting them up here from below before anything else crazy happens, like, more structural collapses and failures.
Now,
He probably seems like he doesn't know much about how mines work, or in particular how this mine works, but he does seem to have a decent idea of how to, like, attend to the needs of injured people.
He can organize. He's just not. Yeah. So I'm sure you've gathered at this point. It was a call for help, and you got Marines. We are not engineers.
Listen, duct tape and super glue is wonderful, but I hear you. If you're not engineers, yeah. No, I get it. Every Marine's a rifleman. I heard that once.
But we can grunt, and we can go, and we don't mind the danger. So, like, we'll go down there, we'll do what's got doing. But if you got engineers that can help us make smarter choices, then it'll take less time than the dumb ones we'll make without them.
I wish I could give you something, but your best bet would be trying to find somebody, in this group that knows more about the mines. I do know that somewhere down there is some android running some sort of operations, and of course there's the operations lady whose name that I literally cannot remember right now. And let's just assume he can't remember her name either.
So, what do you do here?
I'm just the rescue. I came with them, and he points at the red and white drop ships.
I understand. All right.
I think he also insinuates, like, you probably see like a Wayland Yutani symbol or emblem badge on his suit. So, he's probably corporate sent as part of a response effort.
Have you already established some sort of contact with whoever's surviving leadership is here?
Yeah, I'm trying to find those notes because I do have people. I just can't remember NPC names. There is, so while I'm looking for it, there are 2 people that you may want to talk to, and I'm saying that as a GM to player. There is an android down below that has some sort of access. Oh, General Manager Cassandra, what's her face? What is it? Cassandra Mystery? That's funny. She is the general manager or whatever of the mine. She is rumored to be below. And there is a android somewhere below. Oh, android mine controller Gibson. Here we go, right here. What is there more to his name, or is that it? Yep, Gibson. He is somebody that you might want to talk to in regard to the mine operations and where to find people and who might be helpful in trying to ascertain and or recover the structural integrity of the mine. My brain is trying to do 6 tasks at once, if you can't tell.
Do we have, are the mine communication systems running?
You know what? That's a great question. The mine does seem to have power for the most part. It's just that nobody is actively like generally the mine itself has power. You know, there may be portions that are blacked out because of disconnections or what have you. But it also feels like it's probably not in the best like 100% state. You're clearly not on a military ship when you're down here or a military installation. You don't have bright white lights. You've got brownouts and you've got sparks every now and again. There's like standing water in the middle of walkways, you know, from whenever it doesn't rain because it's super cold here. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. All right. We're going to be trying to get down into the mine.
Yes.
Do you need any more help up here managing your transports?
I think as long as we can keep these people from crowding the drop ships and overloading my support crew, and he points to, I'm not sure if this is actually the garage, though. He's got people in the Mori Mori. Yeah, I think it's mostly just him out on the landing pad. So he says, excuse me, as long as we can keep people from like overcrowding the landing area and getting in the way of the dropships coming up or going up and coming down, I think we'll be okay. I think you just need to get down into the mine and start figuring out who's still down there and if they need extra help getting out. Also, if you find any metal urns down there, let me know. See if you can bring them up.
Company orders or personal curious?
Let's go with yes.
Understood.
He's got a bit of a smirk. Like, again, I want to point out, like, I feel like these are they're the helmets of Alien, where it's kind of hard. Maybe they're a little bit dirty. These are not the helmets you saw in Prometheus, right? Where they're super clear, big, round, easy to see facial expressions. And he's like, yeah, let's go with yes. Personal curiosity. Wayland Yutani is asking for dumb shit all the time. Metal urns. Find any, let me know. Bring some up if you can.
So, as long as they're organized right now, you think you'll be fine without any of my people here to help you?
As long as they remember that you're nearby. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. That's not what he says.
A reminder that you have access to us will not be a problem.
Yeah. I think I think what he does is he gives you like the let's just say the local channel for the comms.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be like the local general chat net. If you picture Discord, this would be the general channel for all miners on the installation.
All right.
New players, enter chat.
I'm going to talk to my people and I'll get that set up for you, and then we're going to head down below.
Okay.
You mean all this comnet belongs to me? There's a big difference.
Like as I finish that, I'll like turn to the side, hit my push to talk. Wescott, I need you to get 2 engineers out of that crowd.
Okay, cool. I turn to the line of able-bodied people that I've already sorted out, and I look at them. Are any of you engineers? If so, raise your hand.
I think you get a bunch of people that just do the spacesuit head helmet equivalent of. So anyway, but not so much that they're ignoring you or they don't want to speak up. It's kind of like, I don't know what you want an engineer for. This mine is shit now, and we want to get the fuck out of here.
Hey, you know you still got like 30-something people down there, right? An engineer would help us get them out.
God, these guys are roughnecks. I feel like a lot of them would be like. So the generalized. In fact, here this is what you get. You get a 40-something-year-old woman. She looks like she can't quite stand up straight anymore. Like her back is bent a bit from carrying too much weight, and she just looks at you. She says, "Honey, all these people want to do is be able to get home to their wives and kids and families, or just go get drunk and laid." And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you've ever done this kind of work before. The general word in the group is, if you're stuck, you're fucked.
Not her Spartacus moment.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, I feel like there's a lot of roughnecks that have the idea of, like, if you get fucked down there, you're kind of on your own. And if you got fucked down there, it was probably, at least to some degree, your own fault for not
I'll walk over to
preparing
this
enough.
lady.
I'm sorry?
I walk over to her.
Uh-huh.
I point behind me. Do you see that right there? It's called an APC. You see what it's got on top of it?
Yeah, that's a big fucking
big-ass
gun.
gun.
I don't know what you're pointing at or what you're trying to get at here.
You acting like we don't have equipment to at least somewhat deal with this situation,
I'm just telling you that
and an
the
entire ship
general...
up there to help us.
No, listen,
So,
I think you
Do
misunderstand
you really
me.
expect for us to just chuck you down there, down the giant ass pit that you got over that way?
Are you saying
No.
you're gonna throw me down there? Because I
I'm
haven't
making
changed
a
the
point
timbre of
of,
this entire
do
conversation.
you not have any friends that are still down there?
Yeah, but I can
Do you
tell you've
not
never worked
wanna
with
help us give
Breathnecks
us a
before.
So, would you rather run tail, or would you rather be, or so you're happy to leave them behind just because you're standing here and you're not willing to help your friends?
There's...
And if the situation was turned,
I think she gives you
look,
what...
we need somebody who can tell us a fucking accurate map from one that's out of date. It's not that hard.
I don't think you're not gonna get a lot of help from these people. Listen,
I'm trying
You
to be
know-
blunt and intimidate her, and if she doesn't want to
if
do
you
it,
want to make
I'm
a roll,
perfectly-
I'm not gonna stop you.
I'm basically trying
in
to
fact, her
browbeat her
response
into
will be-
backing down
Yeah,
because I'm making a point in front of everybody else.
yeah. And I think, yeah, her response will be based on the results of this roll. Let me switch this over real quick before I forget. Oh, there it goes. It works.
So what do you want? Command?
Are
Again?
you can do command. Are you trying to do intimidate? Because I believe there's a
I'm
slightly
not even
different
so
skill.
much as I have more authority than she does in this spot right now,
You
and
do.
I'm trying to get her
Okay. Command will
to
work.
do a back down and stop being indignant,
Yeah.
basically. Oh, joy.
Roll that stress for me. It's a good thing you rolled a I'm not wanting to stay in bed this morning 7 weeks ago. All right. Stress is fine. But you did get 3 successes. So, what that looks like is she could tell that her attempts to explain things are not getting through to you, and that she needs
She's
to try...
trying to make excuses for abandoning her friends in the mine. That's not an attempt.
No, I think what
that's
yeah,
how I'm
you know
treating
what it is. You guys are reading the same set of text. This is a really bad analogy. You guys are reading the same chapter in the Bible, and you're just misunderstanding each other's understanding. You're misunderstanding each other's understanding of the passage. Because you each have your own slightly different take. So she just takes a step back, and she says, "All right, listen. When you get down, oh god, I wish I should have opened the PDFs for this so I could see, because now I got to look at all of these. Listen, I don't know if you'll get anybody in this group to step forward and help you out, but I can tell you this: the bottom level is where everything went to shit. We call it the basement. Whatever they did down there caused everything else to get whacked. You're probably good until you get down to about 5, 6. That's when things get a little wonky. Air a little bit easier to breathe. You know, everything
There's
above...
no air or atmo up here.
Yeah, anything above level 3 is you can't. You need your helmet. You get down to about 5 or 6, it gets a little bit easier. In the basement, though, things are really weird. Don't go down there. But that's probably where the problem is. If you're looking for people, they're probably going to be down. If they're that far down, they would have had the hardest time getting up and out. Gibson and what's-her-face? She literally says what's-her-face. Because maybe she's new or something. I don't know. Cassandra Mystery. Mystery supposedly went down shortly after the incident and has not been seen since. We don't know what's going on with her. And of course, there's still the other 30-something people that... Listen, I understand where you're coming from. I understand. I've got military in my family. I've got family in the military. However that phrase goes. I've never had to use it in my life, so... I get it. You don't leave a fallen comrade. But roughnecks are a little bit different. If you fell, it's probably somewhat your fault. So a lot of people aren't always going to rush back. And here's why. In space... you only have the resources you have on you. If somebody goes down, you're wasting your own resources to recover somebody that may or may not have dragged you with them before you even started to help them. That's why a lot of these people up here are not happy or quick to rush off and go back down to find some of their friends. They've already written them off because it's a potential for losing too many resources. Yes, I realize we're on the surface of the moon, but it's not much different here than it is being in deep space. At least here there's gravity. If you find someone that can help you, they're probably down there. The people up here are more worried about their families at this point. Let them go home. They made it out. That's all that matters. The ones that are down there, if you can save them, save them. If you can end it quickly, end it quickly. Don't let them linger. And she kind of gives you like, I don't want to say she like turns and walks away, because where else is she got to go? Like her ride. Uh-oh, I was wondering if she was frozen.
She's frozen?
She must have been. She looked like she hadn't moved. She was listening to me really intently. Oh, she's back. And now I got to play with the Zoom cameras.
Hi.
Hello there. Where did I lose you at?
She was spouting off about how the life is not much different and that they don't only have the resources that they have on their person, and they don't want to stop to pick someone up who fell by their own causes because they might have killed you because you don't have enough resources to get both of you out of there.
Yes. So, whatever happened was probably down in the bottom of the mine, the basement. If you find someone and you can help them, help them. If you can't help them, end it quickly. That's the best thing you could possibly do for them. A lot of the people that are up here now, all they want to do is get home to their families. They've made it out. And there's no real obligation to any of them that made it out to go back in, especially if they're already hurt. It's one of those weird codes that the Roughnecks go by. I'm kind of making some of that up. I don't know how lore accurate that is, but I feel like there would be certainly at least a percentage of people that have very similar thoughts in that type of work.
But I'll walk back over at some dramatically appropriate time.
Yeah, if you want to. I'm not going to stop you. Like, what's the problem here?
After I cow them into listening, probably is when he comes and stands behind me.
All dramatically
like,
super
coming
tall.
up to like his freaking bicep.
Yeah, I imagine he does one of these.
Taller than I am.
The side of my face itches, but meanwhile, what he's really doing is just flexing his bicep.
Yep. Pike will arrive in the scene and just like he'll walk to stand next to Wescott and then turn and look down expectedly.
At Wescott, I imagine?
At Wescott.
I do the mini salute to make a point in front of the Roughnecks. And
Sniper check.
I tell you on our rain channel, it sounds like they're not keen on helping their fellows down below. So it sounds like we're going to be on our own, except we got 2 names. Sounds like the 2 names you got off the other person. And
I think Pike says, because we just said no one's going to help here. So Pike says, and he's not using like the radio or whatever, like, because we're all close to each other. And this lady's probably still here and probably some of the others.
Well, where I was talking to you on our marine radio, that isn't the same channel as I was talking to them, because they can't hear you unless you're on the radio.
Okay.
Because there's vacuum.
Yeah.
Unless we do the head-to-head thingy, where you
which
can do
is
voice
really
conduction.
muffled, by the way.
Right. Okay.
It's really hard to do. There's no, they can't hear you at all.
Yeah, so let's just imagine that your conversation
Which is why I
with...
very clearly saluted him as he walked up behind me.
Yeah. Let's just, and by the way, because I forgot that small fact, let's just pretend that that's pretty much what you and Ishigarawa did, was, headbutt each other so you could talk. Until you got on the same channel.
I hacked my way into the Suits channels, so
that also checks
it's not
out.
even hacking. I just remembered my training on what the emergency channel is for general civilian suits. Yeah. And I was talking to them on broadcast.
Yeah, it was probably like generic suit channel 2.
Yeah.
Because for some reason that's what they use.
Only, you know?
Yeah.
I like the for use in emergencies only, abuse is a crime, blah 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 channel.
Yep.
Well, before Alita remembers her training and shoots someone with a baton round, What's the progress here?
You guys, I would have ordered the other, one person driver, one person on the APC. The other Marine would have been assisting me in getting these people in line, and I also pulled out the injured ones into a separate line.
Okay.
Hmm.
The
I
injured
checked
here.
them to make sure they
Sorry.
weren't instantly dying, and that was it.
No, they have, like, everybody's. You see several suits, in fact, that have been patched up, but a lot of those patches are old, months, weeks, years. But there are a couple of people that have, that are broken arms, or they're limping when they walk, or leaning on one of their fellows. But the ones that are injured, of
I
course,
made
are
a walking
grouped up.
wounded line as
Yeah.
opposed to the healthy line.
Yeah,
Basically, is all I did.
yeah. Are you done talking with not quite able to stand all the way up lady that I never named?
I think I've made my point and tried to
she's
cow
given
them
you
into
the-
behaving.
Yeah, she's given you the.
I was just trying to order them into behaving, and I'm disappointed in the fact that they're not even willing
not
to try
mad,
to
I'm
help
just-
their fellows.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
No, I think that this,
Being mad at them requires having expectations of them. They're roughnecks. They're not Marines.
so I think Pike is, because he got cued into the net by Ken. So he's on the minor net or whatever, and he'll look at Wescott, after hearing that we're not going to get any. How would he do this? Because he'd also want to be able to have the other Marines hear him.
You could probably broadcast on 2 channels. It'd be funny if you couldn't.
Yeah, sure. And he says, it was worth asking, don't worry about it. These miners don't understand supporting each other like we do. They're worthless to us now. Let's keep going.
I just give them a look back on the emergency channel and say,
I think
best
there's
you
a
can
couple.
do is stand pretty in line so they can make sure you get a seat.
And
I think you
as
definitely
an
get a
extra
couple
point,
of. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
as
Go
an
ahead.
extra point, he says that, and then he turns his back to them to look at the APC, and then swaps.
And before I get on the APC, I turn and look at them and tell them, y'all better stand pretty in line so you get a seat on those ships. If you misbehave, they don't have to let you on. Tell that to the people who show up behind you. If we have to come back up, we are leaving people in the pit because you're trying to kill other people by not behaving. That is a threat, by the way, and then I
Yeah.
get on the APC with the rest of them.
Okay.
I'm making a point.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely get a number of heads turning. Nobody is chomping at the bit to help out. There are a couple that are like,
I shamed them into behaving.
Yeah. Well, you've also shamed a couple of them into trying to give you pointers or whatever about how to get down there. So the gist is, and I don't think this map easily ties in with the other maps.
Yeah, it does. The entrance is right there. It's listed. Do you not see it?
Oh, tunnel entrance. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the tunnel entrance is listed, and so is the mine head. Both of those entrances are listed on the
Yeah. Okay.
other map.
So
Because this is the top down, and then the other one's the vertical map.
Yeah. So you get a couple of decent pointers. You've got mind control. That's actually probably where what's his face is, the android. In fact, one of them says is that one of the people says something to the effect that if Gibson is anywhere, he's probably in that building over on the other side of that building. And of course, they're pointing at the mine head and whatnot. And he says the mind control is on the other side of it. They also mentioned that you could take that APC down into the tunnel, but more than likely after like level 3 or so, it might get super tight in there. It may not fit anymore. But otherwise, you can drive it down each of the individual levels. You also get the impression that there's probably a number of people hanging out in this place called the Mori Mori, which is this building right next to the landing pad. You're not entirely sure what exactly they're doing or what this is, but it seems like this is basically the local corporate bar, and there's a bunch of people just chilling in there right now. Effectively, it may seem one person who says, "Yeah, those bastards are literally waiting for a ride out of here, like if they're at the fucking airport." Actually, he probably says Starport, but you get the idea.
Yeah. All right, Warren, I want you to position this APC and that turret in the most menacing position that you can on this pad.
Pointed directly at the group of people. Got it, boss.
Yeah, I want point.
Like a 45-degree angle with the gun this way, and
No,
Yeah,
there's the people right there in front of the barrels. Point the barrels right at
yeah. Go up.
I
Point
got
the
sparklers and an American flag on it.
Yes, it needs to be an
Point
American
the-
flag because why would anybody else do this but Americans?
point the
I
front.
mean, the Canadians might.
Canadians would.
Point the
Absolutely
front.
would.
Point the front towards where they'll be assembling on this yard, and then rotate the turret towards Mori Mori.
Got it.
You about to blow the bar
Um,
up, aren't you?
No.
Where's Wally with this?
Wall.
I think,
If we were all getting back up on the APC, he would have been falling
Okay.
behind me because he was providing cover. Because you never work alone.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I wouldn't. That's why I told your partner to stay in the APC with you,
Okay.
Gosh, it says 10 degrees
or
off and
standing
charged.
just outside
Gotcha.
the APC and covering both you and Pike. But same idea.
Okay. Well, I remember that part. So. Okay. Yeah. Then I hopefully park that with gusto.
I'm not
Right.
gonna make you make a driving roll. Or what is
We're
it?
going
Driving
to
roll?
we're going to lock and secure the APC here. It's going to remind people that Ken has access to people who will force compliance. We're
Do
going
I have
to,
the remote control for the APC?
you have that, don't you?
I think I have the feet. I think I don't. Does the APC? I don't remember if I have the matching device or not, because it requires a specialized terminal.
Now, here's my thought, right? Aliens is the movie that all this shit is referenced from. And in their APC, they had a remote controller unit in it. It was part of their standard kit.
Yeah,
Because
I would
Bishop
just
had
take
to
it
get
out of the APC, because we would have talked about that because I actually picked up remote like last session.
I remember you talking
And
about
remote's a
getting
Comtech, right?
remote.
Yeah, it's Comtech specific only. Only Comtechs can take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also have a pup. I got a pup and a remote control. You don't understand how happy I am to finally use the Comtech specific items. Okay, the pup isn't Comtech, it's Scout, but same difference.
The pup
Yes.
isn't Wally a scout?
No,
Oh, I thought he was.
he's a smart gunner, bro.
Oh, that's
Do
right.
you
That's
not
right.
remember this entire discussion about the rosary wrapped around the purity?
Yes, now I do. Listen, my memory has holes in it. Okay.
Okay, let me do the quick notes. He is 6 foot tall, blonde, hair just long enough to slick back, no tattoos, for they would damage the temple of his
I
body.
remember that part.
He looks like could easily win a strong arm competition. The front plate of his smart gunner harness has a large cross and the words, "In God we trust." The smart gun has a rosary wrapped around it, for it is the chosen weapon used to smite the enemies of God, and the incinerator has scrawled on the side of it, "Purity." And by the way, the smart gun is named Deliverance.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And he has both of them on him right now.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
So
Alright,
I'll
so
pack
you're
up
sealing
the
up-
remote controller unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um,
Go ahead.
and we're gonna go on foot to mine control, see if what they have for smaller vehicles we could take down in the mine to be able to pick people up and drive them out.
Okay. Let me.
Do the alien helmets have HUDs in them, or am I looking at the screen on the device?
You're looking at the device. The only thing our helmets have are the infrared.
Okay, cool. I connect the security cameras and basic alarms, so I have them up and running before we even step out of the APC. And I have it set up so it pings on the inside of my helmet. If someone starts beating on it, it'll ping the rest of them. I set that up because it sounds like a basic security alarm.
Oh,
I have
you-
the
you-
equivalent of
did
the
you-
car alarm set.
I was just gonna say, did you lock the doors and do the bloop
I arm the car alarm.
bloop?
We will know if they start beating on our car.
Oh, just to make sure that these people can pass the rumor around. Like we'll shut it, we'll lock it, we'll secure it, we'll test that it's locked, and then I'll have her ops check the remote terminal so they can see we still control the guns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
move it around a little bit. I double aim properly at the window like panels of the Maui Maui or whatever the hell it's called.
And I like the idea. I like the idea that while she's doing that, it's moving a little bit. Pike just looks over at Ken and gives him a thumbs up.
I think you get a thumbs up back, but you may or may not have caught the look on his face. He's like, I'm not sure what that was about. And he goes back to trying to get people to stay calm and, organize who's getting onto which of the two drop ships before they depart again.
Oh, I set him up with a channel so he can call us without calling the rest of the civvies.
Okay. Yeah.
I just
he'll
designated a
he'll
special random ass
definitely-
channel for it.
Yeah, he chimes in with a radio check and
I literally just communicate to his personal line in his suit and tell him what the channel is.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna roll context for this because
No,
it
you don't
seems
need
like
to.
it'd be
Yeah,
easy.
no, this is like a simple like push a few buttons and slap a note here and yeah, you're all set. We're heading into mind control, which is this facility over here, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically this is a set of offices, a meeting room, an operations planning room, and a comm station used to contact the outside of the world, or, well, universe or whatever. The android Gibson is indeed in here, and I need to make him visible, and then if you guys could move your peeps over here, that'd be super awesome while I'm scrolling down around.
We're cruising.
Yeah, look at that. Just that. I probably could have just grabbed all y'all, but screwed up and grabbed too many, or not enough. When you show up, you see, of course, Gibson in there, and he is kind of going back and forth. Actually, I feel like he's probably sitting in like a chair, and there is just this bank of monitors all around him. Are we good, Luke? Okay.
Yes.
I saw your camera drop for a second. I was like, ooh, what happened?
I was trying to mute myself.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So yeah, I imagine kind of similar to the Matrix with the old man. What was his name? The architect in the room of nothing but monitors. Yeah, exactly. With the pen. Yeah, so he's in this room with it's just a bunch of security monitors, but there are a number of them that are nothing but static or just a black screen. And he looks up and he says, listen, I've got to tell you, you guys aren't needed. You're not welcome. Now that bullshit's out of the way, and he's got a bit of a smirk here. What can I do to help you?
I think the question is, what can we do to help these miners?
Well, there's a slew of them down there from all accounts. Getting them
10
out.
to listen to about 30.
That sounds about right. 37 was my last number. Although a few of them did come up with that last group that came and rushed the landing pad as you guys arrived.
We put that in order.
Yes, I saw that. Good job, by the way. I want to be clear. When he says good job, by the way, it is that I want you to imagine the corporate android, generic, almost like, what was that movie that Will Smith was in where he plays that superhero? He's like, good job. Good job. Good job. I can't. Hancock. That's it.
Is there any communications down into the mine at the moment?
I have, as you can see, plenty of feeds. Levels 5 and 6 are dead. And he kind of starts like tapping through some of the different monitors. You get a lot of looks of hastily abandoned sections of tunnels with rubble and equipment scattered about. There's a couple of crashed vehicles on the turns that you could see on one feed, which is the series of ramps that go down from each level. One of the access tunnels, there's a helmeted miner that can be seen pacing back and forth with an axe in one hand. And Gibson says that I believe there are several people trapped down in the basement, which is where the accident happened, but beyond that, I cannot seem to give you any more definitive information.
Does the cage go all the way to the basement?
That's a great question. Does the cage go all the way to the basement? Trying to find, do I actually have a location for the cage, or do I have to infer
Yes, you
that?
do. It is part of the mine head. It's part of the mine head combination of the mine shaft, cage, and skip. It's also where the stuff comes back up to run over to the processor.
Let's see. The cage can take 10 people at a time down the main shaft into the mine, stopping at sublevels 1, 4, 5, and finally 6. where it opens at the assembly point. So yes, it can go all the way down.
Cool.
I need an engineer, and I need to know how many of if there's any vehicles left up here we can take partway down to help with evacs.
He does mention about your APC again,
Mhm.
that you can take it down there. Ken pops on to the. No, it was in a different area. I have a note for something that Ken would say right here. Oh shit. Okay, I missed that part. Ishigara does come back. Or excuse me, does speak up. He says, "Listen, I've got a oh shit. Hold on, where is that one? Oh, there it is. I do have an MX-11A1 hover tread that you guys can take with you. I'm about to take a team of med techs down, but we are probably not going in the same direction down there."
Yeah, if you're going down, we're going down. We're just going further.
Yes, we're going down to. He says something like level 2. One section of the mine on level 2.
Ask him if he's cleared level 1.
I'm just gonna make a GM arbitrary call and say yes, level 1 is clear.
I connect Mr. I don't think you're needed here and him on a channel, and so we can get them talking properly. And I say, this guy has cameras. I see people on these monitors. You're going down. Work together. We want to get them out here and safe as soon as possible.
Sure. I'm
assuming if they haven't been doing this already, or this android is about to be browbeaten into doing it.
Yeah, I think the android's like
highly intimidating Pike standing here to do my intimidation roll for me.
Well, the android, I don't believe androids can actually be intimidated, but
I know they can't mechanically, but
you could definitely
it makes me feel
them.
better to look at Pike knowing he can smash the android into little itty bitty bits as previously seen by
I think he actually has smashed an android into bits. A few of them, in fact. I think what you do get is Gibson kind of looks at you, and then he's like, he realizes
a very nasty smile back.
Yeah, like he looks at you and he realizes, that you've tied the rescue coordinator in, who is obviously from off-site, and he's like, "Oh, we should have done this, several hours ago." Very well. Level 1 does appear to be clear. If you want, and he's at this point he's talking to Ishigara. He says, "If you want to clear level 1 by hand one more time, there certainly would be no harm, no foul. Level 2 is ready, and I suppose." And at this point, he looks over to Wescott and Pike. "I suppose that means you guys will start on level 3 and start working your way through and then down? Question mark. Or you could go deeper. Obviously you can go wherever you want. You don't even have to go into the mine.
Honestly, it makes sense to hit the bottom point because this is a time-sensitive mission, and that's going to be the hardest point to get out of if anything goes wrong. So we want to get through that as fast as possible, and starting from the bottom makes sense because we'd go bottom up, and the bottom is the most dangerous. So getting them out of there faster is better.
Anybody who's still stuck at the bottom are the ones who are going to actually need help to get out. People on level 2 or 3 can just walk their happy asses out.
And I mean, barring the broken legs, that skiff will solve. Yeah.
Right, which is what. Yeah, and Ishigaro kind of agrees. He's like, "Yeah, we'll hit level 1 and level 2 to get the any stragglers that still need help out. If you guys want to start at the bottom and work your way up, or meet us in the middle later at like 3, 4, 5, that'll work too." Are you taking the APC down as far as you can?
I was going to take the cage all the way down. That's why I asked if it worked.
That APC is there to ensure compliance on your pad.
Okay, gotcha.
I also will very carefully drop the relay beacons needed for our radios to come back up to our APC, because that's something we specifically talked about grabbing, because this is a mine with damaged communications.
So you want to leave some sort of like relay connection?
Repeater devices, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
just basically all you gotta do is plop them on the wall every so many feet and you're good.
Okay. All right.
And think of it as a Wi-Fi extender, but for
radios. Yeah. I got you. I'm not a comms tech kind of person, but I get the idea, if nothing else.
Uh-huh. We're throwing in mini cell phone towers. We're good.
Yeah, no, I got you. Anything else, or are we just go ahead and start making our way down?
I look at this android and ask,
I need
what
an
blew up?
engineer.
Oh, you need an engineer.
None of those people work for me. None of those people work for Ken. You're on the same payroll. Get me an engineer.
I think you literally catch Gibson having the closest thing you can get to an android not knowing how to respond. And he says, I don't believe we have any available. Either they left with the first group, and let's just assume one small group has left previously prior to you. Are you good, Luke? I think Luke.
Yes, I just got to step for a second.
No worries. We can just assume that one small group left already prior to you guys arriving. He says if there were any engineers on the landing pad, clearly they don't want to come down here. And if there are any engineers left, they are down below. Again, I can't see whatever's going on levels 5 and 6 or even in the basement. So if there is an engineer, there may be one already down there trying to assess and recover whatever they can recover.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't guarantee that. Again, I have no feeds.
Your what is her name? Supervisor Cassandra Mystery.
Yes.
She went. We've heard reports that she went down as soon as the accident happened.
Yes.
What type of accident was it?
Now I have to look at my notes again because I don't remember. And again, I don't have the PDF open, which I think is where the answer to that question actually is. I think the answer you get from Gibson is somewhat more detailed than what I'm saying, but the long and short of it is they dug too deep and they felt like it appears as though they hit some sort of not so much a pocket or a bubble or anything silly like that, but they hit something that caused a sudden drop in stability of the flooring above. Basically, they dug their own cave in, more or less, is what it sounds like. But again, because nobody has been able to make an actual report, or basically because nobody has been able to go down, figure out what happened, and come back to file a report or report to somebody. Nobody really knows exactly what happened.
All right, Gibson. Here's the thing.
I feel like Gibson's about to get punched in the face.
We've already talked to the guys on the pad, and we already know that these miners are cowards, and that's fine. They're not mine. That's not my problem. We also know that your Mori Mori building is full of people who think they're on fucking vacation. So we're going to take the dangerous ass job of going down this fucking cage. You're going to find an engineer, and instead of putting him in danger, since apparently they're too pussy to go back down there, you're going to make him sit in this office with you, and we're going to send feeds up so he can give us information without putting himself in danger.
I pull out my bag full of relays and go, "We got this, bro."
And tell him, and tell whoever it is, as long as you know these people, so you know who's worth the time and not, that they will get from a ranking person a recommendation letter written to get them promoted to a less shitty, better paying job if they do it.
I want you to imagine somebody like Bishop, who clearly has a range of abilities or responsibilities. And half of what you just said sounds like they fall outside of Gibson's scope. So he's given you that look as best as an android can. And he says, I will do what I can to the goal of figuring out what's going on down there, what happened, and recovering people. I can attempt to direct you as best I can from up here, so long as I have both communication and eyes. Beyond that, I may not be able to assist you as well as you would like.
I go walk over and I start setting up a specialized terminal that's connected to the feed that I choose to give it over the signal.
Yeah.
I'm not giving them free access to our cameras. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I asked Pike, do we want to give them an always-on view, or do we want to only send out when we want?
We'll set up to transmit when we have something to show them.
I do a test view of my cam and I look around the room to make sure it's shown on the monitor.
You get something of a thumbs up or some other positive affirmation from Gibson.
Well, I'm literally looking at the monitor and then turn my camera sharing on.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the monitor.
Yeah, I think you get the gist of Gibson. Like, I can work with this. Just I think there's, again, Android, no compassion for humanity, but definitely all right, let's get after it. I think we can make that work. There's a lot of like not give a fuck going on around here.
Yeah.
Androids can't give a fuck,
I know.
so.
But I know things like you are good at telling when we're lying, so you know I'm not lying about being able to make good on the bribe.
I think he gives you one of those Spock raised eyebrow looks when you say things, but he lets it slide beyond that.
So you know you can see me through my helmet. I can make good on that bribe, and I'm not asking anyone to be put in danger. Run your calculations on how many lives could be saved if you make it happen and get creative like you things do. We're headed to the cage. And I just turn and leave.
I'm sorry, I'm really loving the anti-android racial slurs. Right? You things. Wow.
You know, Pike felt like he was being polite. He didn't call him a toaster to his face.
By the way, while this is going on, I'm secretly hijacking all of his camera feeds.
Of course you are. I need a Comtac roll for that.
I mean, I'll do it blatantly if I can't do it secretly,
Well,
but
no,
I want
let's
it
just
really
assume
bad.
on one success you get what you want. On two or more you get your secrecy. There you go. You got it. Gibson will not know unless
fast and secret.
Yeah. Gibson, unless he specifically goes looking for it, he will not know that you have hacked his shit. So one of your little remote terminal thingies will show a copy of all of the feeds. I think what you get is you get multiple feeds, like 2 or 3 at a time, and you have the ability, of course, to flip through whichever ones you want. And whenever you look at anything on below level 5, it's dark.
Look, I'm headed to the cage. I'm just walking out.
Mm-hmm. What level are you guys trying to get to specifically so I can pull that map up?
Well, first, I want to look this thing over and see if it looks like it's just going to careen into the darkness and have us free fall to death.
I like that idea, actually, but I'm not going to actively attempt to kill you guys anymore. You've proven to be unkillable. That's a lie. That's a lie.
We just lost 2 people.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's be clear. You cannot intentionally kill us. Only the fate of dice can kill us. So you should stop working so hard and allow the dice to have their fun.
I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at.
So I wait until we get to the mine head, and then I'll look to the others and say, any of you work in machinery before the core?
You would know if you have heavy machinery skills. I'm joking. Don't listen to me. You'll know by the fact that you got +1 in heavy machinery.
Yeah, Matthew Warren has heavy machinery, I guess.
I'm joking when I say that. Don't let that be the deciding factor. I don't remember everybody's
like,
character
not much.
Yeah.
May I introduce you to gun thumping? I have a cross and I burn evil gentleman over here by the name of Wally, whose personal agenda is to bring light of God to the non-believers.
You have a mechanics background?
No.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna check it out. See if this looks like it's gonna drop out and kill us.
Oh, while he's doing that, I'm setting up the relay in a spot that isn't easily screwed by the civilians. So shove it behind a filing cabinet or some shit.
Oh god, I wasn't even listening. That was 1 success, 2 success.
So with my stunt, I want to get a +1 to a roll later that will relate to this lift.
Okay, using the cage to manipulate getting people up and down.
Well, I figure if I have to make another skill roll related to using the cage, I would like
Yeah.
a +1 to that.
Sure. For all intents and purposes, it seems like the cage and its operating, what you call it, mechanisms and apparatus are all fine. Even despite the collapse, cave in, whatever the fuck happened down below. It appears that if you hop in it, you can take it all the way down if you want.
Is this that kit? Does it have levers to take us down to 6?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Does it have? Can it go down to 6? Is it set up like? Is there a 6 floor button, or does it only go down to 5?
Pretty sure it goes to 6. Let me look at it.
He said it went down to basement.
Yeah,
so.
it goes 5 and finally 6. So basement itself is not accessible by the cage. I apologize for that. I missed that.
That's the exploratory shaft is the basement.
Correct. See, I think you'll have to take a separate.
Well, it has to go down to the Orban, so.
Right,
Yeah.
but the basement isn't complete as a mining level. They started digging it and then it fucked up.
Cool. So,
we should go to 6.
cool. I have you stop every so often so I can stick a relay on the wall of the shaft as needed to make sure our radios work all the way down.
Yes, like every time she sets up another relay, I'll do the radio check, and my radio check is to contact Ken and Gibson and give them an update on the floor we're at, and we're continuing down.
Okay.
Ensuring radios work. It says we have no tokens with vision.
Yeah, I'm in the process of putting that together. Second.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I'm having to do some really unpleasant hanging out of the cage while one of you holds me so I can attach this to the wall.
Definitely. I mean, we gotta go. Listen, we had a really cool what's the word I want to use here? Our really cool entrance off the dropship. So we have to have the slowly creeping by the wall as we hang people outside of the elevator lift to, stick things on.
God, I'm glad I picked up a random point in mobility to help me with that.
Let me double check that. Say, next cage in the main shaft. It's overskip over. Blah blah blah. Each can take 10 people. Where it opens at the assembly. Okay, so yeah, you're there, and then do I have? Because clearly there's a bunch of people there. Let's see. Yeah, as you guys arrive, there is, at that assembly point, a cluster of what looks like, I didn't put enough tokens on there, but there's 8 workers all huddled on level 6. And it looks like they were waiting for this fucking thing to show up.
How many does it look like are here?
There are 8. I did not put enough tokens. I put 7. I need to get one more.
All right, I know exactly what I want to do here.
Okay, give me just 1 second while you're doing that.
Because the lift this cage can take 10.
Yes.
Okay. Let me know when you're
ready. Can I copy and paste a miner?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can copy paste tokens.
There you go. There's your 8. Yeah, as they show up, there's one woman in particular who kind of steps up. The rest are like huddled off to one side, waiting for the cage to show up. And one lady almost immediately just stands up and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad this fucking thing finally came back down here. Oh shit, it's Marines."
I hold up a finger. Are any of you engineers?
I'm sorry. Let me tell you something above board here. I have no plan whatsoever for anything engineers. So you guys keep hitting me with this fucking engineer thing, and it's making me scream internally. Because every time it's like, no, there are no fucking engineers. But I can't just outright tell you that. I have to do it in character.
Hold on. Like, me as a player, I picked that up.
Yeah.
But Pike is one wits.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So now it's like, I have to tell you. It's like, no. Yet again, there are no engineers. Stop fucking asking me that question.
So for fun and for future flow, we'll just assume that every time Pike introduces us to another group, he will ask there's engineers and they will say no.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Listen, we can play it out each time. I just wanted to make clear that above board, I don't have a plan for engineers. Everybody here is a miner or something else. but not
Alright,
an
so they-
engineer.
All right.
But no, you. So you ask if any of them are engineers, and they just looks around. She does one of these. She's like, "No, my name's Thompson, and we're all miners, just trying to get the fuck out of this fucked up place. It took me a while to get all these guys together. One of us, we lost one. He ran off and started murdering people or some shit. Hold on, let me double check my notes and make sure that's what exact. Yeah, that's actually what it says. They say someone lost his shit and is murdering people on this level, so we're trying to get the fuck out of here."
Uh-huh.
All right. Wally, right? You're gonna ride up with these
sorry.
8 and then bring the
Hold that
lift back
thought.
down.
Oh. Let me reiterate and clarify. No. We're all miners. That the one that might have been an engineer, he's down there, and she points to like the rest of the mines that you can barely see. That motherfucker lost his mind and is out murdering people. And let me tell you, you'll know it's him because his eyes are all black.
Okay. Wally, right?
How did he lose his mind? It's right here.
Wally and right. Take them all on the lift, bring it up, get them to Ken, bring the lift back down. The rest of us are going to wait here for you to come back down.
And as a reminder, above board again, Ken is on level 1.
Well, we could drop them off at the surface and go tell them to go join the idiots waiting in line. They can fucking walk.
Yeah, I'm sending those two to go up with them so we know the lift is going to come back down.
Got it.
And
I'm spying. If I'm given a moment, I will totally put my back to a wall and like huddle behind Pike's shoulder so I can scroll through the CCTV.
Yep. Give me one
and
second. I'll
and-
tell you something, but give me just a second.
I mean, I have a beautiful connection to the surface, and I have hacked all their shit. This place
Okay,
belongs to me now. It's beautiful.
What? Okay, so you're hiding behind Pike, peeking at your super secret hacker
Well, once
net.
the cage actually starts going up and we have a moment to look around,
Uh-huh.
I'll do the. So you want me to check out the CCTV, right? I'm not gonna sit there and go heads down without my gun out unless Pike gives me the okay.
yeah, we're not secure yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let these 8 miners know while they're getting on the lift. Like Ken Ishikawa's here. He leads the relief team. He has medics. He has transports. You will get a ride as long as you cooperate with him.
Mhm.
So cooperate with him.
Yeah, Thompson comes back with, yeah, listen, I'm just trying to get my people out of here. Appreciate it. Love what you're doing. We're out of here. We're leaving right now. Like, she's acknowledging and then dumping that conversation so she can get on the fucking lift. And she says, don't forget, black, soulless eyes, murdering. That way. But I want to be clear. When she says it, she is far less jovial and snippy about it and much more like,
Right.
please fucking do something. That motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll get them on the lift, and we've lost our new guys as well for now.
Yes.
I mean, that's why we have peons.
Well, also for a narrative thing. So once the lift goes up far enough,
So to be clear, you sent Wally and who up?
right?
Okay. So the two
Right.
absolute new guys. They haven't even had their baptism of fire yet. Got it.
Yes. And once the lift is like pulling into the darkness,
Yeah.
I'll look to the other two, and I'll tap my radio and,
Yeah.
cut your radio, and then I'll motion for us all to tap helmets.
To be
We actually have
yeah,
that
on this
down here.
level, you whatever telltales or signals you get that you are in breathable atmosphere, it is stale, it is cold, but it is most importantly oxygen and all the other things that normal air should have.
Yeah, I don't want to breathe this air yet.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, huddle tapped. Oh, wait, we have to come up with a special word. So helmet huddle. There you go. That sounds
Helmet
horrible.
huddle.
That sounds so bad, but it works for the military.
So poor Warren. I'm just gonna like put
is
a
Roseanne
hand
frozen?
on.
No, she's not. I saw her.
No.
Blink. I saw you
So
blink.
just like I'll put a hand on Warren's shoulder, it's supposed to be like a fatherly, comforting squeeze, and say, "I think it's time, Wescott. Brief Warren on what you found."
Oh, you mean about the other
Everything.
hacking? Cool.
The other hacking.
I literally rephrased it as, oh, the other hacking? And then I explained to you about the suspicious actions of General Vaughn and the missions we've been going on and the code phrases that are odd and don't make sense and, stuff like that.
The general
Okay.
people in charge are accusing
Your
each other of
character is
treason
now
at this point.
officially on the know rather than just you as a player.
Yeah. Now I have something to like wink, wink, not nudge thing on.
Yeah, in fact, Pike, if you want, I'll allow you to make a wits roll, and because you're in the middle of this conversation, I'll even give you an extra die on it, because I know you don't have but one die to begin with.
I mean, once I get them started, because I know Wescott knows everything I do,
Yeah,
I wasn't going to stay in the huddle. I want to keep an
okay.
eye out for this crazy son of a bitch.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, and Westcott is literally like, Pike would have to take a knee for me to stand up straight to put my helmet to his. Like, it's bad.
Yeah,
Or
I've
he'd
got-
have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my shoulder lamp on and everything, and I'm making sure that we don't get crept up
Mhm.
on while she gives them a briefing on all the terrible news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible news.
Yep. So there's clearly multiple games being ran, and Vaughn doesn't seem to be on the 100% up and up. She got her own play, but we got to do what we got to do. We have legit missions to follow, and at least we're saving people down here for a change.
Yeah, kind of. All right, so where do we head now?
Once I
like-
give,
Go ahead.
I give him the full update, and then I go over to Pike and do the tap on his shoulder and let him know we're done. When I say tap on his shoulder, I'm probably hitting his elbow.
Sure.
He'll make a dramatic gesture of turning his radio back on.
Mhm.
It's a weird shaped shoulder.
All right, I want you to do a quick comms check, see what you see, and then we're going to check that room they were huddled in.
Mm-hmm. I put my back against the flat wall and pull out the terminal. I do check over the APC real quick, cameras, and then I check the cameras that have eyes on the personnel, and then I go through the mine. In that order.
Just to be perfectly clear, Warren, if somebody's running at you with an axe, if I hear any voice out of your mouth, that constitutes warning to me. Don't take the risk. Just shoot if you need to.
Okay. Whatever meter rule, I forget what that meter rule is, but if someone's coming at you with a weapon within a meter rule, you just shoot.
Yeah. Don't,
It's literally the size of the room. Someone can walk up before you can get a gunshot off on them.
Yeah.
Just
like in real
keep-
life.
just keep
Yeah.
in mind, we're going to be stuck down here. Your life is more important than his.
Good. Well, I do have watchful and fast reflexes, so I hope that I have that in the bag.
I've seen you do some shit, Warren. I'm confident you're fine. I'm just making sure you know what I'm expecting.
I feel like we should be
Not
giving
knife fighting the guy.
Warren's celebratory throwing knives one of these days. Pike gets
You get
axes
one.
because it's
You
bigger.
get one. You get one.
He gets axes. Okay, sorry. I was trying to find something, so I may not have caught everything. What I have caught so far is that you have had your super secret conversation. You're keeping an eye out for this axe-wielding maniac or something. And you have just told Warren that, hey, whatever sound comes out of your mouth, if it sounds like you're engaged, I'm engaging. Or something along those lines.
He was basic. He would. I told him that. I told him that I don't care about ROE.
Okay.
You are not getting hurt. Shoot him if you need to.
Okay.
So first thing I do,
Yep.
I check the APC.
Yep.
Anything psycho going on?
No, you got it. I mean, some of the people have kind of like, when you tell a bunch of people to get in a group and they stay in the group, but then you wander off, that group starts to be less coherent. But they're not, I want to be clear. They're not like breaking the group. The group is like slowly spilling outward. there's less absolute control, but they're still grouped.
1, I flicker the APC headlights because there is no sound,
Look at
but there
me!
is light.
Yeah, look at me!
2, I pivot the turret
Yep,
and then put it back.
yep.
Do they straighten out?
I want to imagine that you do one of these. Zzz. No,
I scan the
no.
field.
Zzz.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
And yeah, anybody that may have wandered off of the exact path that you wanted, they definitely make their way back. They also make it a point to not do it very hurriedly, but there is no like, they're not lollygagging as they're like, okay, all right, you got me.
I'm just reminding them that we're there.
Yeah.
Okay, then I do a
Clearly you're
scan
watching
over-
me.
Then I do a quick scan over the mind control and through any of the other surface buildings real quick, like just a quick flicker to see we don't have any psycho bodies going on.
There are a number of people chilling out in what looks like a bar.
Cool. No axe murderer moments.
Not yet that you're aware.
Cool. Next, I check mind control.
The Gibson is in there, and he appears to be. You don't get sound, but he appears to be on a radio trying to find what you imagine is him attempting to find an engineer and actually convincing them to get in here. You even see him doing one of these. Like, get in here now, and we might
Cool.
be able to write a letter and get you promoted.
I check the cameras that's covering the mine shaft to make sure the cage is still moving properly.
Yeah, and in fact, Wright and Wally are on their way back down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Okay,
just assume
cool.
there's been enough time.
I
back and
flicker
forth.
through the cameras to look for our aid coordinator and his skiff and his medics.
They are on level 1. It appears that they are. You see them as you flip through one. In fact, no. On one screen, you see
I want to
them.
make sure that they're still alive.
Yeah, no, you see them. You see them as they arrive in view on one feed, and as you flip to the next feed, you see them leaving that field of view.
Mhm.
So you've basically gone backwards. But yeah, you confirm that they're still alive.
Cool. I do a quick shuffle through as low as I can get, so if there's anything on 6, I'd look, but it sounded like most of the 6 cameras were gone.
There are what appears to be some sort of a traffic jam. A couple of vehicles. One of them is currently on fire on like level 3, I think. Whatever level so this is a thing in this map. I just don't remember without looking through all my notes which level exactly. So I'm gonna say it's level 3. It could be any level, but
it can't be level 3 because level 3 doesn't have enough of an atmosphere to have fire.
Hang on.
Yeah, sublevels 5 and 6 are the only one with an artificial atmo.
Yep,
The
yep.
other ones have trace amounts, but the problem is that's not enough to sustain fire. Now, there could be some other reaction going on that's causing really nastiness, but it's not a traditional fire.
I'm pretty sure this is an actual thing. Hang on, bear with me a second.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not a fire. I apologize.
It could be a chemical reaction that's nasty, glowing red and expanding, like like those little fireworks where you light them and then they turn into this huge worm of ridiculousness.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty standard chemical reaction. Batteries are nasty.
So what you do see is there are 2 miners that appear to be trapped under what looks like some wreckage and maybe some rubble that fell on top of it. It's difficult to tell. And again, there's no sound, but it looks like maybe there's screaming, whimpering, whining, help us, something like that.
What floor?
Let's go with sub-level 5, because I don't have anything else to work off of.
Cool.
When you... No, you know what? Yeah. Give me a second, though. Let me figure out... But then just as you're about to switch to another feed, a figure moves in front of the camera. A human-sized shaped figure that does not stop to render aid. In fact, you can see one of the trapped workers reaching like, no, come back! Come You can't see my hand, but you can imagine I'm gripping for somebody that's not there. As the person just seems to saunter, not quite saunter along, and then out of view. On sub-level 5.
Suspicious person. I report suspicious person sub-level 5.
Well, that'll be our problem later. We're gonna clear this one.
2 trapped people on 5 as well.
Perfect. Perfect. Ah! Don't listen to me.
I checked my bag of radio repeaters. How many do I have left?
I'm sorry, what was your question? Oh, you probably had just enough to drop, 1 for each level, and then probably hit like a couple more every 100 meters or every 200 meters down this tunnel that I don't know what the exact scale is on.
The shaft, top to bottom, is 800.
Well, I meant laterally. So, like, where to go from, like, the assembly point to the turns. That's probably a few hundred meters at least.
Yeah, each one is probably 600 to 800 meters long, unless it's got side as well.
Yeah, which you can see a couple of access tunnels, but... What would you like to do?
Lights up, eyes up. Let's clear this place.
All right.
We have our 2
Please.
extras back.
Yes. Let's submit. I mean, if you want to wait for him, you can. You hear something.
We're gonna wait for him.
You definitely do hear. In fact, I want you guys to make either one or all or whatever. It's not observation, is it?
Observation is there's something dangerous or something to notice.
Yes. Go ahead and make that roll. Or whatever passes for generic perception, because it's been so long and I haven't opened up a character sheet to look at it yet. Okay. Pike, you hear something in the distance that doesn't sound like normal mining operations. You hear... objects, when they make physical contact with other objects, make a specific sound based on what those 2 objects are made out of, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sound you're hearing, your brain wants to tell you you're hearing somebody taking a Maddox handle and bashing it on something metal. But that's not exactly what you're hearing. And it doesn't happen often, and it's not like furious hammer pounding. It's more of a tunk, tunk, tunk. It'll stop for a few minutes. And then another one, maybe a drag sound. But that Maddox handle, the sound of wood, or maybe a baseball bat doing that. This is, your brain says that's what it is, but your mind is saying, no, something's different. And you can't quite place what it is.
All right. Well, we're going to keep moving. I got my weapon up. We know that there's a crazy person down here.
Yes, there is.
As selfish as these miners are, they have no reason to lie to us.
Shall I move you, or shall you move up a few zones?
Is this room that they were previously in?
It's empty now.
Is that the lift?
Yeah, let's go with yes. Because if it's not, then the lift would be adjacent to it. Like here or some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's the lift symbol right here. So yeah, it is.
Which one is this? Oh, the up-down arrow?
The up-down is the lift symbol.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
that's actually, is there any medical supplies in the medical cabinet?
It looks like it's been ramshackled.
Yeah.
Because
that makes sense.
If you it's been used. In fact, if you look around on the floor, there's wrappers and shit.
What is the circle with the dots? That looks like a button.
That's intercom.
Okay, cool. I check it to see if there's a phone line to the surface from here.
You moved Warren with the
I did, didn't I?
The miners. Yeah.
Whoops.
I tried to move him back, and I was like, "Oh yeah, walls." And I'm like, "Oh no."
I guess we don't have walls, but you were trying. Does the intercom work? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that the question? Yep. It takes a moment, but you do hear Gibson on the other end. It's a little staticky, and it sounds like he's at the far end of a very long hallway.
Cool. I just give him the quick update of we sent up miners and we're about to start exploring down here. We're leaving the cage on this level for now.
That is a wise course of action. I have so far failed to motivate an engineer to join me in the operations. In the mind control room. Which is so funny because now that I said it out loud, it sounds like I'm saying mind control, not mind control.
I walk over to the lift. Is there a key for the control panel?
Can we lock it down here?
Ooh. Let's just say there is a way to like prevent it
I've
from
al-
being called up.
Because
Cool.
I've already
I
done
take
the
the
full
key.
over on this, right? So like I'll just throw the maintenance manual brake. So
Yeah,
it's done.
yeah. And so at this point now, in order for anybody to use it, they'll have to talk to you. And you've got the main people that are in charge of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Wally, you're with me on point.
Go ahead and reposition yourselves appropriately, please.
We'll put the smart gun in front with me.
Yep.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. Warren, I trust you on rear.
Warren's like, I could throw a knife anywhere, boss. Sorry, don't let me talk for your characters. All right.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and scoot yourselves up a few zones, or as far as you would like to go up to a few zones. And while you're doing that, let me look at something really quick here. Let's see.
Yeah, my bubble of light goes like 3 squares.
Nope, that's fine. That's what it should be doing. I mean,
Same.
you are deep underground at this point.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm seeing it right.
Yep. Before you guys move anymore, go ahead and make observation rolls, at least 1 or 2. Again, if everybody
The
wants to
people
make
in
one.
the front.
Yeah, definitely the ones in the front. But anybody else that wants to make one. Pike, roll that stress for me, even though it pretty much doesn't matter.
I don't have any points in observation, so
Really?
none.
Okay.
No, I have 4
Warren's
points
going
in
to-
stamina and 4 points in ranged combat on Wally.
All right.
He has a point of manipulation and a point in close combat.
Wow. Yeah.
Wally's thick.
Yeah. Warren ought to be you know what it is, Warren? It's because you're in the back and there's no lights back
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
You've got your
he
shoulder
has his own
lamp,
light.
but
Yeah.
you've got your shoulder lamp, but in order for you to see anything, you have to turn around. And I mean that, like, if you're looking behind you, the lamp goes with you, but if you're looking forward, the lamp goes with you there. So you're just not seeing anything, man.
I'm just seeing a bunch of people in front of me at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I do have Watchful, which would have gave me 2 extra die.
Did those 2
If
extra dice
it's-
show up?
No, it's if it's for like a sneak attack or something like that.
Oh,
like
gotcha,
it's
gotcha. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't for that. This was
Okay.
just generic. Pike, that sound is becoming much more clear and much more defined, but you still are having this internal mental argument about, is that wood? Is that a baseball bat? Is that an axe handle? What the fuck is that? It's actually probably starting to wear on your mind a little bit, because it's definitely registering as one thing, but your brain or your mind is like, no, that's not wood.
Okay, so I would like to spend my 2. First, the first question I could ask is it coming for me? I want to ask that, like, does it seem like do I get the sense that I'm just moving closer to it, or does it sound like it's moving around?
It's feeling more like you're moving closer to it.
Okay.
To the source, I should say.
And listening to it, does it sound like that's more than one object striking another? Like, does it sound like there's
Is it
more than
one source
hitting?
or is it multiple sources? This is what I do. Literally, I do this whenever I hear dogs on my route. Is it one dog? Is it multiple dogs? How many dogs will I have to fight off if they get out the door at me? I wish I was joking, because it's funny as that sounds, right? But this is literally what I do. It's like, how many dogs am I listening to? How many dogs do I have to fight if they manage to get get past whatever's between me and them? No, you are hearing what appears to be one sound source, and it does feel like you are getting closer to it. If anything, it maybe is moving around in something of a lazy circle, but even that's kind of a sketch as to what your brain is trying to put together into some sort of mental image of what you're hearing.
Okay. I'll hand sign for Wally to know that I've picked up a sound and it's ahead of us.
I'm not Wally. I
He
can't
does
make
the
that response.
acknowledgement and readies up the smart gun.
He does cool action poses with a smart
He
gun.
does, instead of relaxed readied, he moves it to readied. I'm assuming that's actually a difference. Okay.
Yeah, there's low ready, and then there's tactical. Like, so low ready is just kind of carrying at the front, and he goes from that to the smart gun equivalent of eyes down sight.
Well, the smart gun is mounted on the harness.
Yeah.
That is
So I'm
attached to
sure
him,
it's got
so.
some sort of like, yeah, just kind of do. Oh, hold up, there's something down there.
Yep, that's what he's doing.
All right, I'm continuing up.
Yep, go ahead and move on up. You can move up 2 more zones if you like. As I deliberately ramp the tension slightly. With my headset on, hearing my son turn the shower on sounds totally different. What's the matter?
I'm waiting to see the rest of the tokens.
Yeah, it looks like. Luke, are you lagging behind a little?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I was looking up some things.
Sorry, I've also got my son in the back. With my headset on, the shower turning on does not sound like a shower turning on. It sounds a little bit different. So I was like, and then
I have that exact problem, except it's my washing machine. It sounds so weird with my headset on.
yeah, and then of course the cat is responding to my son turning the shower on, so he's zooming through the house, and my kid is also now zooming through the house. But okay,
What have we found?
well, what you have found, is something I'm gonna have to visually just get over there. There we go. Let me describe what you have found. There is what appears to be a man. Looks like he was probably one of the miners. He is carrying what appears to be the thigh bone of another miner. And as you approach, he shrieks in some sort of gurgly tone and rushes straight at you.
We're shooting.
I want you
We were
to
ready
know
for this.
Yeah. He definitely does the crazy man wielding an axe, except it's not an axe. He's holding somebody's thigh bone. Yeah. No, he does it one-handed. See, he's got it up. He's charging forward, ready to strike. As he closes with you, you can see that he has the all black eyes that Thompson was warning you about.
Go ahead, smart gun.
Well, let me get this set up first. Because I think we'll get this, and we'll probably get like 1 round of combat, and then
A very dead person.
Well, we'll either get a very dead freak, or we'll get 1 round of combat in, and we'll have to wrap for the night.
Oh,
Dude, Duix. Is that intentional? Did I miss that?
yeah. I think you because that's Alita.
Yeah. Why does
Who's
it say that?
Dude?
I can fix that later.
That's
Okay.
That's supposed to be
right there.
Alita, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know how to fix it, but I'd have to go to tech support, and I could fix it later.
Okay.
It's probably fine for now.
Yeah. Yeah, we know who it is now. So let me roll initiative. Roll. Well, yeah, roll all. And then let me switch this over for this bit. So yeah.
Warren gets to roll a second time.
Okay. Go ahead. I guess any sort of like crazy initiative bonuses, benefits, things. Now's the time. So what do you do?
Did I take that? Fast reflexes? Yeah, I'm also going to do it.
All right, give me your 1d10s.
Uh,
You got to do the slash. 6 for Pike.
They're all the same thing.
Yeah. All right. And then Warren just... Yep, 8. So that will put you... Warren, where are you, Warren?
I can choose which one to take.
He's good. Yeah. He's good where he's at.
Yeah.
He has
Oh,
2.
to take either your current roll or your re-roll? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. In that case, yeah, the thigh bone wielding maniac charges right at the smart gunner.
I have to say, I am disappointed that the first time out, the smart gunner rolls a 10 on initiative.
Especially when
is
he's out on
sucky.
front. Beat down. The freak leaps onto the victim like a gorilla, Roll for attack using 8 base dice, damage 1. If the attack hits, the victim is knocked to the ground, drops any handheld items. You're lucky that the smart gun is harnessed to you, and make an immediate panic roll. By the way, I forgot to tell you, everybody takes 1 point of stress because this guy is literally carrying around another person's thigh bone. I meant to tell you that in the description. I skipped it because I got sidetracked so easily.
So, do you want to rely on armor, or do you want to give up your slow action to try to block that?
Does it? Don't we get double armor because he's using a random blunt weapon?
Yeah. I mean, that actually
I don't-
sounds right to me.
I don't know what it's going to be for this person because they're also a monster, so I don't know.
Oh, that's great. It does not specify anything about armor piercing, anti-armor piercing, whatever. Just 8 base dice, damage 1.
Hmm.
So that's an 8 hit.
Hold on, it already rolled. It got 1 success.
Yeah.
To try to land this. Do you
Oh,
want to
you
rely on armor?
no, I'm re-rolling it. I rolled d10s like a dumbass, so.
It already rolled when it's already rolled. You don't have to roll.
Did it?
Yes. If you click on the 8 in the entry in the chat log, it will open up and show you the dice result.
Yeah.
That's why I'm having that problem where it's not showing me what it says.
It rolled 1 success.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm just, yeah, so 2 damage.
Well, well, first, are you trying to block or are you going to just use armor?
I'm trying to block.
Okay, so you gotta roll your close combat, see if you can cancel that success. Okay,
Cancels
so
the success.
so that makes it miss, which means the beatdown does not take the victim to the ground. And there's no follow-up because it's a miss, but it does mean the smart gunner isn't shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that sounds about right. I'll live with that. Oh, I got to hit me in combat. All right, Warren, you're in the back. This dude, let me tell you, this dude is wearing probably like half of a compression suit. Like the arms and chest parts of it are kind of probably ripped up, shredded as if he's been in several scraps. Blood and other gore and viscera all scattered across his body. Obviously, he's not wearing a helmet. And again, he has this thigh bone, and he just jumped the new smart gunner and attempted to beat him down. And it looked like some of those hits were pretty solid, but it also doesn't seem like Wally is like concerned. So it is your turn. You have the number of people between you and your opponent.
Okay. Can I do an aimed shot? I believe I can aim or something, right?
Yeah, if you give up your move, you can get 2 more dice.
Yeah, I might as well do that.
And I will take an aimed shot, being a legit attempt to.
Well, you can aim for the bonus dice and then shoot for the slow action.
So it's a 2 +2 but base modifier?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love how you're eyeing. Okay. I have armor. I don't have bulletproof armor.
Yeah, so that's
So your armor will be halved against the armor pierce.
Yep, I got one of those 3 successes though. So that's 2. Was that 4 damage?
Unless he wants to do something else with that extra 6.
So yeah, you're doing either 2 damage and
I can
something.
actually push it though.
You can knock him back several feet.
No, I mean I can literally push that roll.
Oh yes, you can.
Yeah, you know what? Going for it.
So it's a total of 5.
So down to 4 successes.
Yeah, so that's either 16 damage, no, 8 damage, or something less than 8, and
so 7 damage and a prone, if I can.
Is it 7 or 6? I feel like it's 6.
It'll
6.
be 2, 3,
Oh, yeah,
4.
okay.
It'll be 4 damage and a prone.
Okay, I can live with that.
Okay.
All right. And he is prone. Do I have a cool effect icon to put on him? Prone. Oh, I do. Oh, it actually is the prone icon. That's awesome. All right. Alita Wright. It is their turn to do something.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be second verse, same as the first.
Actually, it's a civilian for the most part, so I think I'm actually gonna go with the baton rounds. See what that does.
I want to tell you, you can do that if you want to. I want you to know
Yeah.
that Wright is not experienced with weird ass shit like the rest of the team is.
That's
But
a good
there
point.
was absolutely something inhuman in that shriek that this thing let out before they lurched at you with what appears to be another human being's thigh bone.
All right, so rocket launcher it is.
Okay, I don't know if that's the right answer.
Hey, I gotta ask, would she even know what a human thigh bone looks like?
I mean, I feel like everybody's had at
do-
least one look at something anatomy related, so we know what thigh bones look like. Whether or not you piece it together with, that's not just a club.
All right, I think I'm just gonna go for a regular old shot after. It is actually to my front right here, open.
What is that symbol?
I'm standing on meds.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Can
I
I
feel like
move there?
No. Well,
No, okay.
hold on. Yeah, that's a wall. So, you guys are in a mine shaft, and this particular section of the mine is just the straight access way, so it's not as wide as you might think it is. It is wide
Okay.
as the scale. So basically two abreast.
Okay, well I'll
It's
go.
not
I'll go
even
for the
10
shot
feet.
then. I'll go for the shot then.
Okay. I'm going to assume you want to push that.
Is that
Yes.
including your 2 bonus dice for aiming?
No, I'm not. Alita's not aiming.
Oh, okay.
More of a reflexive fire. Okay, that's 2 successes.
Yep.
I'm
So
going to roll
4
armor
damage.
piercing and get nothing. So either 2 damage or 3 damage, depending on if you want stunts on it. Am I doing that right? Or is it
Three
full
or 4.
damage?
It's damage plus successes.
plus the number of successes? Okay.
So 3 in effect or 4.
4.
Okay. This thing drops. No critical injuries table. Okay, well I guess this thing is dead then. It drops to the ground, and the blood that comes out of it from the large number of bullets that has struck it is not blood. Or I mean, obviously it's blood because it's coming as if blood would, but it is a viscous. I want you to imagine motor oil, but thicker.
Ooh, chocolate sauce.
Dirty black motor oil pouring out as though it were blood. And every now and
Hey,
again, when light hits the surface of this fluid, it does cast a somewhat reddish hue, but it does not. This is not what you would expect to see coming out of somebody after shooting multiple rounds into them.
I come over here and look. I look in the medic cabinet real quick. Is there a random sealable vial or specimen container in the medic cabinet?
Do me a favor and roll 1d6. Before you roll it, though, I want to explain what your options potentially could be. On a 1, there is nothing. On a 2, let's say 2 or 3, you get a Ziploc bag or something like that. On a 4 or 5, you get something a little bit less messy than a Ziploc bag. And on a 6, you'll actually get some sort of sealable container like a vial. Yep, you get a Ziploc.
Cool.
So you could probably
Gross.
use the compression, some of the material from the compression suit. Actually, what you could do is some of that foamy stuff.
I grab a
soak it-
random piece of gauze,
Yeah.
put
and
it in
stick
the
that
baggie,
in the bag.
flip it around like a glove, wipe it around a little bit,
Yep.
seal up.
Yep.
Zoom in it.
There you go.
Second Ziploc baggie, seal up, shove in pocket.
There you go. Yeah, that'll work.
Double baggy.
Yeah. Might want to triple or quadruple that bag and put it somewhere where you're least likely to burst it. That will be our final scene of the evening. Because if we get going too much more, we're going to run out of time and go over, even though we started a little bit late. Let's see, where is... Here we go. Let's start with our experience points for the night. All 5 characters get a free experience point for participation. Even if they didn't get much on-screen time, they did something. Even if the new guy did nothing more than catch a beatdown.
Avoided a
You
beatdown.
caught it.
Okay, that's fair. He avoided a beatdown. I'm actually half tempted. And I'm saying this as a joke, just to be clear, but I'm saying this. The next time Wally has to roll like dodge or armor, it needs to come out as some sort of prayer to God. Some sort of holy phrase or statement.
You're gonna get a Bible verse generator.
Yeah, right?
God, really? Do you really want to make me do that?
No, I'm joking. If you did it every now and again, it would add to the character, but I'm not telling you how to play your character. I'm just making a joke. Let's see. Did you risk or sacrifice something to further your personal agenda? Wescott? I'll start with you.
Well, mine is bring back my command. I feel like we haven't done anything yet.
I disagree.
Sure
I disagree. It's a bit of a stretch, but here's the thing. Your character has been doing all the hacky, comms techy, setting up relays. You're doing things that may not necessarily directly lead to furthering your personal agenda, making sure everybody comes back, but you're doing all of these secondary things that would support the primary effort.
Yeah, I'm doing the groundwork to make sure we are as prepared as possible.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me sounds like, yeah, trying to make sure I bring all my people back. It is a little bit of a stretch, maybe, but I'll allow it. What about Wright?
Yep.
Oh wait, Wright is Luke's. Your other guy is Wally, who caught a beatdown. Sorry, avoided a beatdown.
Wally's personal agenda did not come into effect because he did not get a shot off.
Okay. And just to be clear, what is his personal agenda?
Bring the light of God to the non-believers.
At 5.56 millimeters at a time?
I have a smart gun.
Even Kane would like that one. I couldn't remember the muzzle velocity.
Sorry. I was trying to hit the description. Shit, I can't read it. I was going to go look at the gun description, but I actually can't read the text right now because of the IA drops.
Oh, no worries.
It's a 5.6 A2.
Yeah,
I'm
the
assuming
M56
it's got
A2,
some...
but that has nothing to do with the cartridge size. I don't even remember what the smart guns.
The smart gun, both of them really. They use the same ammo.
Yeah,
they're both
okay.
10 millimeter general purpose.
Yep,
explosive caseless ammo.
Yep, that sounds about right.
That's horrifying. I like how I remember the description of it is something along the lines of a full burst from this can cut a person in half, so watch the friendly fire, private, or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember reading the description of the gun.
Yeah. What about Wright and Warren? What's Wright's agenda? Did she do anything towards it?
So I'll start with Warren. Warren doesn't actually mind the chaos because this has just been a whole thing with him.
Wright like I was born to this chaos. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, Wright is a little concerned because she just like murdered what was essentially either a man beast or a beast man or something along those lines.
A man beast, a beast man. I'm not sure.
I also kind of wonder, like, we were told that this was a person down here, and then like we just like cold-blooded started shooting. We made no attempt.
I mean, not for nothing, the fucker shrieked and charged at you with what otherwise appears to be and later confirmed to be a human thigh bone.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the pragmatic view, but that's not the something in the dark emotional view of the characters.
Okay, let's be clear. That one secondary character right there is the only one who might care. The rest of us don't care right now.
Yeah. Wright is the one who's like, was that a human? And was that a thigh? Was that somebody's leg?
Oh yeah, very disturbed by this fact, and her personal agenda is to stop the war with the UPP and save some civilians. So a little concerned by.
I think she gets
She
I think she
does
gets her
get,
agenda
you get
point.
points because I mean that's the purpose of this whole mission is to save these people, right?
Okay,
So you
but
definitely
she
get a
just
point for
murdered
that.
one.
Yes, but in self-defense. Now,
Oh, okay.
I'm
She
saying
did what I
that
told
I'm
her to
saying that
do.
above the table. How she rectifies that is a different story. She's got two ideas in her head. She just killed somebody, and she's here to save somebody. And these two are not the same right now. She's got to figure out how to make heads or tails. But that's the beauty of this game and this particular campaign. That has been, I came here to chew bubblegum, but some reason I'm kicking ass, and now I have to reconcile that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
that's what caused Winston to lose his shit.
Winston did lose his shit.
He started
I
off
just wanna-
being
I
a
just-
good guy. Nobody remembers
just-
that because it was like 2 episodes, the very first 2 episodes. But later,
yeah.
he's a
The amount of
fucking
war
murderer.
crimes. The amount of war crimes that he had to survive in like 2 missions.
Yeah.
This is just what
Um,
happens when people spend too much time with Pike, you know?
Yeah. So I just want to note that Matthew
become serial
Warren's rival is Winston, parentheses deceased, aka the bottle.
Ooh.
And I forgot why I wrote that, and I was like,
I like that though. That your rival is the bottle. I feel like in some ways you're like trying to fight everything inside you to just lose yourself. And I feel like that actually makes a lot of sense considering all the shit that Warren's gone through, especially that last mission, the Queen on the space station mission. He fucking
and that's where he
murked.
lost Winston.
Yeah, he lost Winston and he murked a bunch of motherfuckers at very, very, very fucking close range. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably looking at that bottle as like, I know this isn't the right answer. I just don't give a shit anymore. Have you seen this shit I had to do? I don't even think it's necessarily that deep. I think he's just looking at that bottle as like, oh man, I don't know. So I think Warren right now doesn't get one for the agenda bit
No.
because it just hasn't been enough of a stressor. Like he responded
not
just
at all.
fine. He probably was like, "Oh, good, I get to kill somebody." Took an aimed shot and did a pretty good shot too. But yeah, unfortunately, Warren, I won't give him one this time. Right? Yes. Pike, I don't remember your agenda other than kill as many UPP as possible.
My personal agenda is find and kill all UPP officers I can.
Well, unless somebody finds a UPP or a hammer and sickle on this guy, that's also a 0.
I was just gonna say, just like puts down like a gun and then like a little like chevron of like the UPP on him, and he goes, "Yes."
Yes. Hey, look, his blood
That's
makes
what
it
he
look
dreams
like.
about, okay?
When we had that whole dream thing where you're just like murdering UPP guys to go.
My
rescue
poor
that guy.
character remembers that really well.
Yeah.
Very same dream.
Did you risk your life for your buddy?
So I would like to make an argument for my buddy rival.
Okay.
I
You still
like
have
Warren.
Wescott as your buddy rival, right?
No.
No?
So right now my buddy is Warren, and it's been Warren since he survived that bullshit on the station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in parentheses I put for being an absolute badass.
Yes, absolutely. I remember.
So
And possibly wanting to harpoon a ship onto itself so that I could blow it up from there.
So Pike is a little complicated for Pike's mental gymnastics, but he put Warren in the back as like a position of trust, but also a position of safety because he knows that Warren is incredibly good and would be very helpful up front. But it's more important for him to have him at the rear where he's safer
Yeah.
and can watch my back.
Yeah.
I took it.
'Cause he's got it.
I trusted my point position to an untested person instead of Warren. So I would think I get the point for Buddy.
Yeah. And I think also that, yeah, you got the untested up front, but you're also up front. You divided your assets appropriately to the situation, I think is what you did. Yeah, so I'll give you that one for the buddy. Anybody else? Did you risk your life for your buddy?
Right shot the guy for her buddy, which is Wally. I guess.
That absolutely.
That would.
Anybody else?
I don't think it applies to either of my buddies.
Okay. The next one, did you challenge or stand up to your rival? I don't think we had too much of that tonight. If anybody was standing up to anybody, it was everybody standing up to everybody on this stupid moon.
I have been messing with Wally,
Yeah.
and Wally's my rival.
Okay.
Mm.
But
So
was there an
not only did-
opportunity this session for you to actually stand up to him?
So there's a couple of things that I was doing. One of them was like the total I only needed to send one person up on the elevator to have our little powwow. I could have just done whatever, but I was just like, go away. I don't want to deal with you. And then I think the thing where I am like the more legitimate is I had all these people I could have put on point it with me. The only position of danger, our back is to a wall, not just an elevator. And I decided that I was more willing to risk Wally's life than anyone else. I intentionally put somebody untested on front, just so that if something went bad, I would lose somebody I didn't care about.
I will make the determining factor of whether or not whether or not Pike gets the rival point based on Rodance's answer. When Wally was put up front, did he view it as any sort of like a punishment or being fucked with, or did he find it as a moment of pride or honor for being up front with the big gun? Or something even less than that, like it just made sense to put the big gun up front because we're in a tunnel.
Do I need to remind you that he named his guns?
No.
I think that's enough said.
So so to him, it makes sense. Because, now, to be clear, if this makes sense to Wally, that means Pike does not get that experience point.
Yeah, in this case, Pike, like, okay, so let's be clear. Wally's rival is also Pike, and I don't think Pike was detrimental in the fact that Big Six Squad Mechanics puts a gun in the front. But keep in mind, my justification for how Wally would think of it and the way that Pike's character would think of it is not the same.
Sure.
Wally thinks he might have gotten rewarded because he wants to mow people down.
Mm-hmm. And that's why
Wescott would think of it as this is the appropriate setup for our group right now for the situation we're in.
Exactly.
It'd be kind
Pike
of a tough
sees
standard
it
to
as yeah. That's the problem when we're setting up basic formations. You didn't send him out front to scout. That would be totally cutting the feet out from under the dude. But you stood there next to him. That's the difference.
All right, give me 1 second. I gotta run a towel to my kid. Give me 1 second, guys.
I like how
I think it'd be a tough standard to make, right? Like I could hand Wally like a bomb and say, go walk in the bunker and blow it up, kill a ton of dudes and be a badass. And he'd probably be like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna kill people for God. Even though Pike might be like, this is unnecessary, but go fuck yourself. Like they'd never see eye to eye on anything like that, you know?
Yeah, that's why I think it's funny. I think the rivalry will come up a little bit more because it's kind of hard to call it a rivalry when you just told him to go do his job.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I think that's also where I'm at too. Is like I personally I want to give your character that point, but it's kind of hard in my mind to justify it right now. Mostly because like when you put him up there, there was none of that. Like, you piece of shit. Can you even be the point man? Go be point man. Show me if you can do it. You know what I mean? Like none of that happened.
Like no,
Plus,
like legitimately, if he made him sit in the back with nothing to do, I think that would have been a more.
Oh, that definitely. Like
to hit Wally.
I don't trust you up front, even with the big gun. Go in the back. Then,
so I think what you're saying is that it's either Warren's buddy point or Wally's rival point that you're going to accept.
Yeah, you can't have.
If the standard is that Pike needs to be worse to Wally, I'm cool. If the standard needs to be that Wally needs to understand that he's being messed with for it to count, then that's going to be a really tough standard to make.
Yeah, that's one of those things is your buddy rival standard shouldn't depend on a different. I get where you're coming from, but I don't think the buddy rival standard should depend on the other character. It should just depend on your current character.
That's fair. That's fair. And based on
to
that,
me,
yeah.
Fucking with Pike's paycheck would totally be a rival move. But I don't think Pike would care.
Yeah, that's also. Well, I don't know. Pike might care because he can't get.
But
more
he
beer.
wouldn't know about it anytime soon.
He wouldn't know about it until he can't go get beer, and then he'd be pissed. And then he'd be pissed, but still wouldn't know why. All right, go ahead, Pike. Take that point.
I'm happy to not have it. I just want to make sure that I understand that it's not that Wally needs to be offended. It's that Pike needs to be worse.
No,
I kind of feel
get
like you need to be
so here's
worse than standing next
more
to him.
being worse would have made it more clear, absolutely. But you're right. I can't judge it on. I mean, I guess I could, but I won't because I'm going to make that decision now. Is that it's not necessarily based on how the receiver perceives it. It's how the intender sends it. If that makes sense, the way I just said it. So if Pike is like, yeah, I'm being an asshole to you, okay, then you get the point. It's not so much that Wally's like, you're what? Why would you? Oh man, that was an honor. Thanks. Please put me up front again.
Yeah.
I made a note. My note says be more blatant about my favoritism.
That does help me
Yes.
because sometimes I miss very small things a lot. Let's see. Panic rolls. We had one or two tonight. Pike, I think, made one.
Yep, I made one.
And somebody else made one. I thought there were two.
Neither of my characters did.
No, Rodance, you had to make one. When
My
you did
stress went up.
when you made a contact roll, I think you had to make one.
Yeah.
You did a panic roll, yes.
I'll
I
take
only
the point.
remember that because I had a similar thought as to when Pike made
There
his.
it
It's
is.
like, oh yeah, Oh no, that was when I said
I
it's.
found it.
Thank God you woke up for. You woke up and chose to be a team player instead of a sleepy, depressy girl, rather.
It was when you were rolling to try to get some engineers.
Yep.
Yep.
Something like that. Overcome a dangerous event? Yes. I think I needed one more person to not kill the freak, and the freak would have had another attack chance.
He wasn't making it.
No, I know. It was stacked against me. But I had to throw something at you guys. Significant discoveries or revelations?
Warren.
Warren.
Warren definitely gets it now.
We
He gets
read
the
Warren
catch-up
then.
point.
Oh yeah.
I think,
Because that's right. Because Warren wasn't in the loop on
No.
all the other stuff. Okay.
So actually, I will argue Warren should get 2 for this because Pike and I have gotten this multiple times, but his character can never be in the position that ours are in. So I think he should get rewarded because we got multiples because we picked it up. He should get multiples too because now he's learning about it. So I'd say he should get 2
I'll
or
allow
3 for
that
that.
this time only because of my sense of above board fairness.
Yeah, because we just have different roles in the party.
Yeah,
and there's no way for his character
yeah,
to catch up because
your
of it.
character wouldn't necessarily get that second point, but I'll allow it.
So I think what you're arguing about is that like you got like 1 point for this one, 1 point for that one, 1 point for that one, and then you guys hand me a book
Yes.
of like all the things.
Yeah, like
and then
I feel like the book should be worth more than 1
did a
point.
brain dump on you, basically.
Yeah.
On all of the shit that they have pieced together so far. That for whatever reason Warren was just never a party to.
Because I've gotten it several times because Pike has updated me and I've learned things on my own.
Yeah.
He can't because he's not in a authoritative position on the team from the rank structure.
It's been complicated because Pike has been not talking about most of this to anybody because he did not want to cause dissent in the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's asked Wescott to get stuff for him that has sort of clued her in when he asks for things. I think it was last session. Yeah, it was last session that the two of them finally got on the same level.
Yeah.
And then this session.
And
we
let me tell you,
finally got
I do
Warren
remember
at all.
this one. As the GM, I have sat here and was like, fucking bring your people in, damn it. And not specifically to Pike, but like across the board. Because
the character,
you know clue 1, you know clue 2, and you know clue 3, and that is it. And it's like, oh my god, could you guys fucking sit down and have a powwow already so everybody knows everything? But of course, in character, that makes no sense. Why would they do that? They don't have enough of an impetus or motivation to do that yet.
Pike doesn't have enough wit dice to rub together.
There's also the...
Well, it's not even that.
Sorry,
Okay?
I need
Like,
a second. That was a good one from Dance.
It's not even
one on
that,
ya.
right? Pike is an NCO.
Oh,
Just because he's got the willies about something or he heard a rumor or whatever, that is not enough to cause dissent in the ranks.
Absolutely. I agree. You're absolutely... Listen, none of y'all are playing your characters wrong. As the GM sitting here watching 3 blind mice chase 3 different things, I'm sat here like, well, you guys just fucking work together. I am also exaggerating a wee bit there. It's funny and amusing, and not for nothing. I'm enjoying this game in story so far. So please continue to do what you've been doing. Let's see. Any extraordinary actions being performed tonight? I don't believe we had any.
Okay, I would like to make an argument for I finally get to remote control the APC for the first time. That is so cool. I mean,
I'll give it to you, Rodance.
but
I'll give it
it's
to
so
you.
cool.
Fuck. There's your fucking Christmas gift, belatedly.
I am terrorizing people on the surface while being deep
Oh, yeah,
underground.
I know.
I enjoy it.
I'm sure. Oh, speaking of Christmas gifts, Kane, I'm sure you've gotten your free reroll. Guess who's already used his?
Already? Really?
Yeah.
That didn't take long.
Well, listen, under the rules of Zelbriggen, when balanced against the rules of Alpha Strike, if I don't get a hit in when you get a hit in, I might be fucked.
Fair enough.
So I rolled it, and it came up a hit, and it still ended up as a draw. But if I took a loss on that fight, oh man, my character would have been fucked. At any rate, everybody take one more freebie because everybody earned their paychecks today. Nobody's getting their pay docked or whatever it is. And with that, feedback and outros, Rodance.
Talent rolls.
By all means, make them. What do you got?
Cool. I give Wally a second wind.
I'm not even
rolling
I was gonna say, you don't
because
even have to
everybody
roll.
else has it.
Oh, that was Pike rolling. I was gonna say you don't even need to roll if you're teaching it to him, right?
Also, Pike is dumb.
Pike is dumb. Got it.
I'm personally curious. What were you going for, Pike?
Rapid reload.
It's like your fourth or fifth time, isn't it?
He's been trying for a long time.
Okay.
He just can't get it.
I will roll for rapid reload because I have enough XP today. Don't roll stress dice. Roll.
There you
Cool.
go.
I buy rapid reload and then he can have it.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Kane, I'm sorry, Luke, you got any talents you're gonna go for? Or are you gonna wait until another time?
I'm gonna read up a little bit more. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I just realized that both of my characters have a 2 wits. Pike has a 1 wits. What is Wally?
2 and 3, I think, are
Wally
about
has
normal.
2. He actually has
So-
4 empathy because he has manipulation.
Yeah, so we're all a bunch of half wits. Got it.
Oh, Wescott has 5.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Comparatively.
But Wescott's
Wescott
also
has-
the commo guy who needs to
Okay,
be
so
intelligent.
Wally has 5 strength. Wescott has 5 wits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny that Wescott's total brain pool is equal to the entire fucking section.
That's true.
Her brain
Yes.
dice equals the sum of everybody else's brain dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going
if you
to
add
refer
her
to it,
wits
by the
and
way, as
empathy
brain dice from
together,
now
she
on.
probably beats all of them by a fair amount.
I'm definitely going to call it brain dice from now on.
Yes, my brain dice beats the entire rest of the group.
All right, Rodance, feedback, outro-y stuffs. What do you got?
I missed my Alien RPG over like the last month.
I definitely, when you asked last week about playing, I was like, I almost felt bad. Like, I'm doing my New Year's Eve stream tonight. And I felt like there was tears when I said that. Like, once you read it, that there might have been a tear or two. Oh, that
I
is
got
super
a cat
cute.
in a shark costume for a Christmas present.
That is fucking cute.
It reminds me of the fact that my signature item is a cat plushie. Oh, by the way, I am totally, we are going to take a 10-minute break or whatever the heck it is for that rule. So I can finally use banter, the sucker thing I've had this entire freaking time since like level 4.
Mhm.
And that's the thing that steps everyone's stress down by 2 levels.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, excuse me.
By 2 levels?
It's so normally if we take like a 15-minute breather,
Yeah,
our
you
stress
take
will go
one
down
down.
by 1.
Yeah.
And if she uses
Oh.
banter, it'll reduce it by an additional 1.
How many stress have I ever been at because
Yeah,
we
it's
just
every
never take
turn
any
and it's
breaks?
spent in a safe place. So how long is a turn?
A turn
15
is like
minutes.
10, 15 minutes.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, we almost never use that mechanic, but I want to use it because
Sure.
we're down here and you guys are going to top off stress. Now, Pike doesn't care about it. The rest of us do.
No, because Pike just becomes a psycho murder hobo.
Okay, I
and
have
He's the
overkill
one
now
holding
too,
on the
but that'll
femur
cause
after.
problems.
I'm waiting to see if I can get both of you to be an overkill.
At the same time,
Yes.
I'd rather do it now than in the ring fighting each other because I would so be dead.
Somebody would be.
I would
In the
obviously
immortal
be.
words of Sander Clegane, the Hound, somebody is.
Yeah, let me just remind you. I would so be dead.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty sure he's got about twice that, especially if he takes some of that
Yeah.
Nova. Which I believe you have one pill of Nova left, don't you?
See,
Oh, that's just monstrous.
There's no
I
Nova.
roll 8,
That's
he
That's
rolls
without
20.
Nova. Holy shit. Can you imagine if he was on Nova and he rolls an unarmed attack because he's bashing you in the face with a fist?
that's 7 more dice if he's on Nova.
I thought Nova doubled your strength.
It does.
He has
Yeah.
7 strength.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have a lot of ranks.
Yeah,
in
I was going
close
to say you
combat.
got a lot of in
I have
unarmed.
6 ranks in it. He has way more.
Yeah.
For those
and
that
I've
can't see
got
because I haven't
the-
switched screens,
And I've got the weapon
Rodance,
specialist for bare hands.
yeah,
I do too.
Rodance rolled like 10 dice.
I
8
didn't roll
dice,
mine with the weapon specialist. I just rolled close combat.
and
let
then
me fix
Pike
that.
rolled literally 20 dice.
I would get 10 dice to his 20.
Yeah, 2-to-1 odds right there.
Let's see. And with that roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 went through. So that's 6 damage.
I'm already on the ground because I only have 4 hit points with tough.
Mm-hmm.
But you have second wind, so you can come back up.
And then I'm down again.
Yeah, yeah. Luke,
Gonna get up.
Luke,
I get down again.
any feedback, outro-y thoughts before we close it up?
No, we're in a. I guess we're in a enclosed space with lots of random stuff that can jump out at us at any moment, and if one of us is gonna die, it might be this game.
I mean, we've said that. Well, I've said that on several missions, and only once has it actually happened. So, in fact,
And it
I
wasn't
tried.
even
I
because of
remember the
your
first
thing.
mission. I very specifically made it a point to kill the NPC, and you guys were like, "No, you can't do that," and then we had to retcon it. I'm amused.
Yeah, we were
by
mad
that.
about
That's-
that.
Hey,
I'm
we've been trying,
amused
and
by
then
how all of that went down. So,
He broke his
especially the
neck, and he
retconning
was
part.
still fine.
Yeah.
He broke his neck, and he was still
then,
fine.
You know,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
working for a while, and then in one session, you basically killed half the party. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a fun one.
Watson, Winston.
Watson, Winston.
You were
Too
about to say
bad.
something?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. I almost said Pike. Your name's not Pike. Your name is Kane, the player of Pike. What kind of feedback, outro, comments do you have, my friend?
I was kind of looking forward to kicking that thing in the face so hard it exploded.
He doesn't even bother with his weapon at this point. He's already trying
Well-
to catch a beat down on what's his name. He's just like, I'm gonna boot it right in the face. He's prone. It's gonna stop.
I mean, I have my pulse rifle out. I can't shoot it at point blank. It's
Yeah.
a 2-handed gun.
Yep.
So I can't back up.
Yeah.
So my only option is to kick it really hard or headbutt it until something shatters.
Ideally, not my own
Um,
forehead.
And the worst part about that is that if you kick it, right goes in for the melee also, which makes Warren go, you know what? Fine, melee it is. And then there's just been like this weird.
It's just this weird jumping in of freak.
I'm imagining like we keep doing the same stuff for like 10 years together as a unit. And by the end of it, when we have that epic roll off and step out, none of us have guns anymore. We don't even
It's
use
just
guns.
muscle. It's a bunch of Arnold Schwarzenegger and oh god, who's the guy that played Apollo Creed? Carl Weathers?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. It's basically the Untouchables, or no, the Expendables. That's it.
I'll
But
be
they're
right
all
back. I
like,
think my cats are making a mess in the kitchen.
all right.
Oh,
It's like the Expendables, but everybody's like 20 to 30 years younger.
UPP's invaded this planet. What are you guys here to do? Win.
Yeah, win. And somebody blows a bubblegum bubble.
yeah.
Oh my
I'd
god,
just
that would
ask-
be. Oh my god, that would make a great teaser trailer for an action movie. Dumb 80s action movies, like like Alien versus, or I mean, Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just 4 heavily muscly bound dudes. It's like, they're invading. What are we gonna do? Win. And the camera just slips slightly to one side, and somebody's chewing bubblegum, and they just blow a bubble. It pops, and that's it.
No, I've been thinking about the second campaign, right?
Yeah.
Because I want Pike to live and
Yeah.
I want him to make it there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, if this is supposed to be like some sort of exploration ship, what the fuck would Pike get hired for? And I'm thinking, would it would be funny if he got hired as either a mechanic or like a cargo, like manual labor guy for moving cargo boxes. He
Oh
just
my
like worked in
God,
the
it's-
cargo bay.
Oh my God, it's fucking oh God, what the fuck was his name? Amos from The Expanse.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
he's
pretty much
all-
what he's gonna be.
I don't want him.
I haven't
think
always
it-
worked in space.
I think it would be funnier. I don't. I think it would be funnier. I do not want him to get hired as security. I want him to be hired in a position that is not a gun-toting position.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Like janitorial or something.
Yeah.
Or so
Oh, I'm having internet
Oh.
problems.
No, here you still got me.
I think it's on my side. It might be on my side.
I think you're both having some issues.
I don't know, because long and short of it, I know one thing, my computer is very slowly dying. I need to get a new processor, but I don't have any money, so. But
Is it AMD or Intel?
Intel, it's one of the older
Uh-oh.
generations that comes from before they realized that they slowly died after a while. Like Gen 5 or something like that.
I just think I really want there to be a scene where some NPC security guy is on that survey ship or whatever it's going
Yeah.
to be, and something spooky's going on, and he looks to a room full of people, and Pike is like standing ahead over the other people in the crowd, and that NPC security guy looks at Pike and says, "Stay behind me, I'll keep you safe."
What is Pike gonna do in that moment, I wonder?
I don't know. He's going to be.
I just imagine. I can't imagine him doing. I mean, I can imagine at least 2 or 3 like laughing, like that's funny. You're gonna keep me safe, or stepping up and be like, "Give me that. I know how to use it better than you."
No, see, because I've been thinking about this a lot because it really matters. How is Pike going to tolerate leaving if he lives?
Right.
And I really think for him to make an effort to try to make a life with Eckhart, or just try to leave and be a person, he's going to want to step back from the violence to make himself a new kind of person.
Ooh, I got an idea on how Pike ends up on that team.
I don't
It
even
requires
think he wants-
both. It would require Pike and Eckhart to survive.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard because I want that.
Yeah, except for the part where you have 0 control over what happens to Eckhart.
I don't know. We saved Bay back.
I'm just gonna say
Oh,
that
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Eckhart is
Mhm.
written off in one of the missions that you guys have already done. I could be wrong.
It depends.
It depends on. Listen, she was supposed to go down with the original Friday the 13th because she is the slotted pilot for the dropship that blew up. I forget what name of that planet, but the very first mission y'all went on, the one that got shot down out on
Yeah.
an approach.
Sure, but
She was
didn't
supposed
matter
to be
then.
that
She
one's
doesn't
pilot, but I didn't put her in there because I felt like because she was a named NPC, I was like, why would you kill her on the first run? That seems stupid. You
But
never
I'm
kill a
convinced-
named character in the first episode, right? It's always a red shirt or a colonel that needs to be that the second in command is going to replace. Stargate Atlantis.
So, like,
That's a
They
Canadian
can
show, by
only
the
sign
way.
contracts with the same
Established.
person so many times in a row.
we've already established that Pike is willing to make bad and compromising decisions to make sure that Eckhart is fine, which
Oh, yeah.
might include screwing us at the end of the game to make sure she's safer than we are.
Pike is the only one that survives, and only because he said, "Fuck you guys, I'm out," and gets on the dropship and it leaves before everybody else can catch up.
Looks at everybody else, decides he actually really likes them all, and just steals the dropship and flies it himself.
Oh man. Are we good for next week?
Yeah.
Which would be the
I
14th, I think.
I was just warning you about my work schedule because if I'm training people, once I start training her evening stuff, I'll have to train through 10:30, if not later.
Okay.
So.
we will jump the bridge. Either we'll end up
Mhm.
starting late, or we'll just skip that week, or whatever the case might be.
Honestly, I typically don't do late night training for weeks and weeks on end. It's normally only 2 or 3 weeks at most.
Yeah.
So it
I
shouldn't
mean,
be
we've
too
been
bad.
gone. We've been gone for longer, like the last 7 or 8 weeks. So
And we spent a half hour BSing. I can like log in and not BS for a change.
right. Listen, I actually tried to avoid that, and yet here we. But it was inevitable. Like, we haven't been together in weeks, so yeah, we're gonna catch up a little bit and talk shit about things and how I have incredibly high stress and have maybe made some poor choices in my life. Shocker.
Hopefully your blood pressure goes down.
And there's my son in the background saying, "Oh yeah, but it hasn't everybody."
I know, I heard that.
All right, we are gonna get out of here. That is it for us. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. I know we had a little bit less activity in game than we normally would, but it has been several weeks since we were last together, so we get a little extra talky. Let's see. If you enjoyed the show, please consider liking and subscribing both here on Twitch and here on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. Also, of course, come hang out with us on the Discord. The Discord server is still there. The link is in the description below. And let's see what else. Oh, Luke, thanks for the resub, man. I think it's a resub. I'm not sure. I just saw that you subscribed, so thank you, son. Thank you, sir. Give me one quick
Just
second.
20 more months of this, and I'll be able to help you pay for that processor.
Maybe. Hang on one second. I gotta give my kid a hug before he goes to bed.
Did you end up with rapid reload on your sheet?
Let me double check because I do need it if it's not already there.
Oh, I
Hey,
gotta give that to you. I forgot. I apologize.
Hey.
Was not thinking.
Hey, you're welcome. At least I could say that Wescott has gotten you more than one skill now.
I mean,
let's
half of Pike's talents are because of Wescott.
Yeah. So just to be clear, me buying your talents and my talents is why you have twice as much close combat than I do.
I still have to
So-
spend the XP to get it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but what I need for my sheet is slightly different than what you need on yours. So I'm paying.
It's true.
Yeah.
I can just imagine Wescott with like training manuals and being like,
Shit.
no.
Did I get-
Okay,
So-
What-
You
did I-
gave me rapid fire.
I just realized I
rapid
made
reload.
that. I did that wrong. Yeah, I just noticed that. I apologize.
I mean, hey, if
Oh
you
my
want to
God,
take the
Cat.
time to, you want to learn some more kill people skills, Pike has most of them now.
There we go. We got it. All right. Now that I got that fixed. Excuse
Cat
me.
fits, man.
That is
They've knocked
it.
over-
Oh, wait. Maybe it's not. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Sorry, I was talking to myself at the cats.
Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha. All right. Well, that is it for us here tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy dark place. And make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. As for me and mine, we're out of here. Have a good one. See you next time.